Chapter 59. Over the years, the younger generation of the Tengen family were only able to enter the genius class in the Holy Orchid Institute. Although not being able to enter the genius class, it doesn't mean that there's no value in nurturing them. However, those that were able to enter the genius class usually have amazing talent and achieved amazing achievements in the end. As the patriarch, Niahai has always been impartial and never helped any branch. Therefore, he has always had a lot of prestige. Niali, tell me, what's the matter with the sacred family? Niahai looked at Niali and asked. In his view, Niali isn't a troublemaker among the younger generation. He wouldn't offend the sacred family for no reason. Furthermore, now that Niali has been accepted into the genius class of the Holy Orchid Institute, he already has the qualifications to be nurtured by the family. Patriarch, it's true that I've offended the sacred family and brought some trouble to the Tengen family. However, I've already solved the problem. Niali said in a neither servile nor overbearing manner. He still has some respect for Niahai. However, after his rebirth, even when facing the majestic Niahai, he didn't have the slightest cowardice. Niali's state of mind has long been above everyone else. Niahai looked at Niali and was a little surprised. He had a feeling that the Niali today is a little different from before. Even when facing him, he didn't have the slightest cowardice. Instead, he has some bearing and style. Ha ha ha, what a joke! Our Tengen family received the help of the Association of Alchemists to get rid of the suppression of the sacred family. The Association of Alchemists wanted us to help grow all kinds of herbs so that they could help our Tensei family. What does that have to do with you? How much ability do you have? You actually dare to say that you helped our family solve the problem? Niashiari said from the side. He said these words at the behest of Niawei. Hearing Niashiari's words, Niali lightly glanced at Niashiari and Niawei and said, "What a joke!" The Association of Alchemists has a transcendent position in Glory City. It's even comparable to the three major families. Why would they help the weak Tensei family? Just because the Tensei family knew how to grow herbs? There were many aristocratic families that knew how to grow medicinal herbs. Also, why are the other families offering the Tensei family 30% more than the other families? Niahai and Bunch were slightly stunned. This is also the point that they have doubts in their hearts. The actions of the Association of Alchemists isn't only helping the Tensei family. It's simply showing goodwill to the Tensei family. However, they have doubts in their hearts. For such a transcendent existence like the Association of Alchemists, why would they show goodwill to the Tensei family? This doesn't make sense. Looking at the indifferent Niali, no matter if it's Niahai, Niawei, Nia-en, and the other higher-ups of the Tensei family, they were all puzzled. Could it be that this matter is really related to Niali? When Niali's father, Niaming, saw Niali contradicting the law-enforcing elder, he was already a little flustered. He doesn't have any cultivation and is only a branch disciple of the Tensei family. Accurately speaking, he's no different from a farmer. How could he have seen such a scene before? He hurriedly knelt down in front of Niahai and said, "Patriarch, Niali is still young and doesn't know any better. I'm willing to take the punishment for him. Please have mercy on me." "Father, quickly get up." When Niali saw Niaming kneeling down, he frowned and hurriedly pulled Niaming up. His father, Niaming, was an honest man. "Father, you don't have to kneel to anyone. Literally, you've made a big mistake. Why don't you admit it?" His father, Niaming, scolded. In his opinion, if he took the initiative to admit his mistake, he could still ask for a trace of forgiveness. But if Niali contradicted the patriarch like this, it would only make the situation more complicated. Seeing Niaming kneeling down for him, Niali's nose was a little sour. Whether it was in his previous life or this life, his father had sacrificed too much for him. In his previous life, he made his father suffer too much. In this life, he will never let his father suffer even the slightest bit of grievance. Niali clenched his fists tightly, glaring at Niawei, Niashiari, Nia Xiaofeng, and Bunch. Nya Hai looked at Nyali. He vaguely had a feeling that the association of alchemists sheltering the Tengen family definitely has something to do with Nyali. He lowered his head, looked at Niaming and said, Niaming, quickly get up. Before this matter is investigated clearly, Nyali will not be convicted. Although Nyali did provoke the sacred family, after all, our Tensei family did not suffer any losses. No one will casually punish Nyali. Hearing Nya Hai's words, Niaming showed a trace of confusion. He doubtfully stood up. The patriarch doesn't intend to pursue this matter? Regarding this matter, he was still confused. Patriarch, if we don't punish Nyali for this matter, I'm afraid that we won't be able to convince the masses. Even if it did not bring any substantial losses to the Tensei family, it is a fact that Nyali has offended the sacred family. In the future, the sacred family might find trouble with us. Grand Elder Nya Wei said with his brows knitted. May I ask, Grand Elder, are you from the Tensei family or the sacred family? Nya Li coldly snorted and asked, Presumptuous, what qualifications do you have to speak to me like this? Without rules, nothing can be accomplished. I'm only enforcing the law impartially. Nya Wei furiously snorted. Grand Elder, I don't think this matter is that simple. Xiao Li isn't a person that likes to cause trouble. What if this matter was caused by the sacred family? It might not be Xiao Li's fault. Since this matter has passed, let's forget about it. Grand Elder Nya En is obviously helping Nyali. The Tensei family has several factions. If Nya Wei were to punish Nyali, it would have some impact on the prestige of Nya En's faction. Is Grand Elder really enforcing the law impartially? Previously, Nya Xiari beat up the Tianling family's people and only settled it with some gifts. Why didn't I see Grand Elder Nya Wei punishing Nya Xiari? Nyali pressed. These two matters can't be compared. The conflict between Nya Xiari and the Tianling family's younger generation is for the family's benefit. Furthermore, the Tianling family's strength can't be compared to the sacred family. Nya Wei's face was dark. Nyali must have eaten a bear's heart and a leopard's guts. He actually dared to confront him. What made him depressed is that in this matter, Nya Hai actually stood on Nyali's side. He can't possibly go against the patriarch. Since Grand Elder didn't investigate clearly, how do you know that I didn't fight with others for the family's benefit? Just because you can't afford to offend the sacred family, you want to punish me heavily? Just to show the sacred family? If the Tensei family can't even protect its younger generation, then there's no point in staying in the family. Nya Li coldly stared at Nya Wei and said. The entire hall was shocked. No one thought that Nya Li would actually say such words. This isn't as simple as going against the Grand Elder. Does Nya Li mean that he wants to withdraw from the Tensei family? In the past, the impression that Nya Li gave others was that he's a coward. But today he actually dared to say such words in front of the patriarch and the elders. This matter isn't simple. Niaming, who was at the side, was scared and heavily scolded. Shelly, what are you talking about? Quickly apologized to the patriarch. Humph. Now that you've grown up, you actually want to withdraw from the family? Don't forget, it's the Tengen family that raised and sheltered you. That's why you're where you are today. Grand Elder Nya Wei coldly said. Truly an ungrateful little bastard. The Tengen family is the family of all of us. The Tengen family has indeed provided us with shelter, but it wasn't the Tengen family that raised me. My parents worked hard every day to grow food and herbs and raise me. They also put in hard work for the Tengen family, so we don't know anyone. I, Nya Li, also don't know anyone. Nya Li straightened his back and said, Really outrageous, presumptuous. Nya Wei's face was livid. He still wanted to scold Nya Li, but Nya Hai waved his hand and stopped him. Nya Ming anxiously pulled Nya Li away. He didn't understand what was wrong with Nya Li today. In the past, Nya Li had always been timid. When did he dare to contradict the Grand Elder and the Patriarch like today? Nya Hai narrowed his eyes and looked at Nya Li. Today, Nya Li argued with reason, which really made him look at Nya Li in a new light. In front of so many elders, he was actually not as timid as before. He smiled and said, Nya Li is right. The Tengen family is the family of all of us. Everyone has contributed to the family. Protecting the family members is the family's responsibility. Before the matter is investigated clearly, we can't casually punish the family members. Nya Wei really couldn't understand. What was wrong with the patriarch today? Nya Li had said such rebellious words, but Nya Hai still stood on Nya Li's side and protected Nya Li. What was the meaning of this? After hearing Nya Hai's words, everyone, including Nya Ming and the others, was dumbfounded. They originally thought that Nya Li would be expelled from the family for contradicting the Grand Elder. But Nya Hai, the patriarch, didn't care at all. He was simply helping Nya Li. Nya Wei frowned. He thought to himself, there's something wrong with Nya Hai, that old fox. Nya Hai was too lenient toward Nya Li. It was a little unreasonable. Elder Nya En and the others also looked at Nya Li and pondered. Hearing Nya Hai's words, Nya Li's mood lightened a little. After all, he still had feelings for the Tensei family. The reason why he said those words was because he was dissatisfied with the actions of some people in the Tensei family. Since Patriarch Nya Hai is so magnanimous, then there's nothing else. Nya Li, you've just returned from the Holy Orchid Institute, and now you've encountered such an incident. Go back and have a good rest. Tomorrow, Grandpa Nya Hai will test the results of your cultivation. Nya Hai stood up, stretched his waist, and laughed. At this moment, everyone's eyes were filled with shock. Not only did Patriarch Nya Hai not pursue Nya Li's wrongdoings, he's even so close to Nya Li? Hearing Nya Hai's words, Nya Ming couldn't help feeling excited. Patriarch Nya Hai actually wants to personally test the results of Nya Li's cultivation. This is definitely a great honor. After all, Nya Li isn't Nya Hai's direct descendant. Isn't Nya Hai treating Nya Li a little too well? Everyone in the Nya family looked at each other, but they couldn't figure out what the problem was. Hearing Nya Hai's words, Nya Li immediately understood that Nya Hai must have noticed something. Nya Hai is, after all, a gold rank demon spiritualist. He probably sensed the aura of the shadow devil demon spirit within his body. Thinking about the incident with the Association of Alchemists, it's not hard to link all of this together. Since that's the case, Nya Li doesn't intend to hide anymore. Even if it's not for himself, he has to fight for some benefits for his parents, uncle, and aunt. Just when everyone in the Nya family was surprised, a clansman hurriedly ran in and said to Nya Hai, reporting to Patriarch, Director Yang of the Association of Alchemists is here. Whether it's Nya En, Nya Wei, or Nya Hai, all of them had shocked expressions on their faces. Director Yang? They never thought that Director Yang of the Association of Alchemists would actually pay a visit to the Tensei family in the middle of the night. They have been in contact with the Association of Alchemists many times. Naturally, they know of Director Yang's position in the Association of Alchemists. Aside from the president and the elders, he's a person with power that covers the sky with one hand. For a person like Director Yang, a casual word from him can cause a noble family to be unable to recover and can also cause a noble family to prosper. This time, the sacred family suppressed the Tensei family, causing the Tensei family to fall into a very difficult situation. It was also this Director Yang that helped the Tensei family solve all their problems. The Association of Alchemists is an existence comparable to the three major families. Its influence in Glory City is much stronger than the Sacred Family and the Divine Family. It's only second to the Snow Wind family, which has a legend rank demon spiritualist and holds the position of the City Lord. Facing a person like Director Yang, even Nya Hai has to be respectful. Chapter 60. Hearing that Director Yang was here, the members of the Tengen family couldn't help but feel flattered. Hurry up and make the arrangements. Invite Director Yang to the meeting hall. Nya Hai hurriedly said. Facing such a person, they did not dare to be the slightest bit negligent. just when the members of the Tengen family were hurrying to arrange the meeting hall. A group of people had already rushed over from afar. The leader was Director Yang, who had a curvaceous body and was extremely charming. Although the other party was a woman, the members of the Tensei family didn't look down on her at all. The other party was in existence with overwhelming power and influence, able to cover the sky with one hand. Director Yang walked over quickly. When her eyes fell on Nya Li's face, she finally let out a sigh of relief. Her people had been keeping an eye on the territory of the Tengen family. Even the slightest movement in the Tengen family couldn't escape her eyes. When she heard that Nya Li had returned to the Tensei family, Director Yang also rushed over to discuss something with Nya Li. Originally, she planned to come to see Nya Li tomorrow, but she heard that the Tensei family had been attacked by the people of the Dark Guild. Therefore, she hurried over at night. Except for Nya Li, Director Yang couldn't think of anything else in the Tengen family that could be targeted by the people of the Dark Guild. She was worried that those people were here to assassinate Nya Li. Now, Nya Li was the most important partner of the Association of Alchemists. Moreover, she didn't know how many things they would need to cooperate with Nya Li in the future. Therefore, she couldn't let anything happen to Nya Li. Seeing that Nya Li was safe, Director Yang was relieved. "Hurry up and serve tea to Director Yang." Nya Hai hurriedly called several maids. "No need." Director Yang waved her hand. She came here to confirm the safety of Nya Li, not to drink tea. She and Nya Li looked at each other and communicated with each other. This scene fell into the eyes of Nya Hai. Nya Hai suddenly understood. It seemed that Nya Li did have some contact with the Association of Alchemists. However, he didn't understand why the Association of Alchemists would pay so much attention to Nya Li. Director Yang pondered for a moment and smiled to Nya Hai and others. "Master Nya Hai, I heard that you were attacked by the people of the Dark Guild." "Yes, Director Yang. These two people are from the Dark Guild. Aside from these two dead, there's another one that escaped with injuries," Nya Hai said, pointing at the two corpses on the ground. Yang Xian's gaze fell onto the two corpses. After pondering for a moment, the target of the Dark Guild should be Nya Li. The people from the Dark Guild probably won't let this matter go. Therefore, she said, "Master Nya Hai, there's a matter that I would like to discuss with Master Nya Hai. I wonder if it's possible." "Director Yang, please speak," Nya Hai said very politely. His attitude was also very humble. "I'm worried that the people from the Dark Guild did not achieve their goal and will return. I'm worried about the safety of the Tensei family. I would like to send a few gold rank fighters and demon spiritualists to help you protect the Tensei family. What do you think?" said Yang Xian. Although she said that she wanted to protect the Tensei family, she actually wanted to send people to protect Nya Li. That's all. Send a few gold rank fighters and demon spiritualists. Nya Hai was surprised. The doubt in his heart grew thicker. Just what method did Nya Li use to make the Association of Alchemists put in so much effort? Aside from purchasing a large amount of herbs from the Tensei family, they're also willing to send gold rank fighters and demon spiritualists to help. "I'm afraid that this matter is a little inappropriate," Grand Elder Nya Wei said. His brows were tightly knitted. The Association of Alchemists sent gold rank fighters and demon spiritualists over. Who knows what they're planning? What's inappropriate? Nya Li looked at Nya Wei and said, "Could it be that Grand Elder feels that the Association of Alchemists has ulterior motives towards our Tensei family? Isn't Grand Elder measuring the heart of a gentleman with the yardstick of a vile person?" "Bastard! Who are you calling a vile person?" Nya Wei angrily scolded. Nya Li is getting more and more lawless. He actually dared to contradict him in front of so many people. Nya Ming anxiously pulled Nya Li's clothes. For Nya Li to offend the Grand Elder like this, the consequences will be very serious. With their position in the family, they can't go against the Grand Elder Nya Wei. Even if the Grand Elder Nya Wei can't do anything to them today, Who knows if Nia Wei will take revenge in the future? Seeing Nia Wei scolding Nia Li in such a condescending manner, Yang Xian understood. It seems that Nia Li didn't tell the family everything. This means that the relationship between Nia Wei and Nia Li isn't that good. Yang Xian slightly narrowed her eyes. Nia Li's importance is self-evident. At this moment, she will definitely support Nia Li. Patriarch Nia Hai, I realize that some people in the Nia family have a prejudice against the Association of Alchemists. Is there no need for the Association of Alchemists to cooperate with the Tensei family? Yang Xian's face turned cold as she coldly snorted. Yang Xian has been in a high position for a long time. Her face can change at any moment, causing the entire atmosphere to be filled with a chill. Nia Wei hurriedly explained. Director Yang, that's not what I meant. He doesn't dare to offend the Association of Alchemists. He only felt that there's something fishy about the Association of Alchemists sending a gold rank fighter and a demon spiritualist over to assist in the defense. Therefore, he spoke out to remind Nia Hai. However, after hearing what Nia Li had said, the nature of this matter has changed. If the Association of Alchemists were to stop their cooperation with the Tensei family because of this, then he would be the sinner of the family. In his heart, he cursed Nia Li half to death. In this kind of situation, he dares to say anything. However, Nia Hai has been siding with Nia Li, causing him to feel depressed. After Nia Hai understood the relationship between Nia Li and the Association of Alchemists, how could he still dare to punish Nia Li? Coldly glancing at Nia Wei, Yang Xian snorted and said, I'm talking to Patriarch Nia Hai. Who are you to interrupt? Hearing Yang Xian's words, Nia Wei opened his mouth, his face turned red. He was extremely unhappy with Yang Xian in his heart, but he didn't dare to do anything. After all, one word from Yang Xian can decide the fate of the Tensei family. How could he dare to be rash? As the great elder of an aristocratic family, being scolded by a woman who's younger than him by 20 to 30 years, yet he doesn't dare to retort. One can imagine his depressed mood. I heard that this person is the great elder of the Nia family. Yang Xian looked at Nia Hai next to her and asked. Hearing Yang Xian's cold and angry voice, Nia Hai said awkwardly, Yes, the great elder's words didn't mean to offend Director Yang. Please forgive him, Director Yang. Nia Hai hurriedly winked at Nia Li, wanting to ask Nia Li to help ease Yang Xian's anger. However, Nia Li turned his head and ignored him, the patriarch. Not only did he have no dignity in front of Yang Xian, but he was also helpless in front of his own family members. However, he could only smile helplessly. He could obviously see that the reason why Yang Xian cooperated with the Tensei family was entirely because of Nia Li. I don't think he needs to be the great elder anymore. If this person is still the great elder of the Tensei family, then the Association of Alchemists will terminate the cooperation with the Tensei family. Yang Xian said faintly. Nia Hai took a deep breath. She wanted to remove the great elder of the Tensei family with just one sentence. However, the Association of Alchemists controlled the lifeline of the Tensei family after all. He didn't dare to act rashly. The threat of the Association of Alchemists was not a joke. He believed that once the Association of Alchemists terminated the cooperation with the Tensei family, many families would secretly suppress the Tensei family. From now on, Nia Wei is no longer the great elder and the law enforcement elder of the Tensei family. Elder Nia An will succeed him, Nia Hai announced in public. Nia Wei opened his mouth and wanted to say something. However, after looking at Yang Xian and the others from the Association of Alchemists, he understood that there was no room for reconciliation in this matter. He could only swallow his anger. Nia Xiaofeng and Nia Xiari, who were next to him, were also like frosted eggplants. The reason why they could be so arrogant in the Tensei family was because their grandfather was the great elder. With just one sentence, the great elder of the Tensei family was removed. This was the absolute prestige of the Association of Alchemists. Nia Hai continued to announce. In addition, Nia Ming will take over the position of the deacon of the Ming Hall, and Nya Kai will take over the position of the deacon of the Agriculture Hall." Hearing Nya Hai's words, both Nya Ming and Nya Kai were stunned. They looked at Nya Hai in disbelief. Not only them, but all the other clansmen were also shocked. The deacon of the Ming Hall and the deacon of the Agriculture Hall were positions with real power in the Tensei family. One was in charge of the finances, and the other was in charge of the cultivation of herbs and crops. Normally, these positions were held by Nya Wei's two sons. "Thank you, Patriarch." Nya Ming knelt down and said excitedly, "Thank you, Patriarch." Nya Kai also quickly knelt down. Seeing his father and uncle kneeling down, Nya Li couldn't help but frown. Nya Hai quickly waved his hand and said, "No need to be so polite. In the future, you don't need to kneel down when you see me." Nya Ming and Nya Kai stood up. They didn't understand the situation at all. Nya Wei, Nya En, and the others finally seemed to understand something. Nya En's eyes slightly lit up, while Nya Wei's face was full of frustration. Since the Association of Alchemists is willing to send people to help defend the Tensei family, the Tensei family will certainly be grateful. Nya Hai could see that the Association of Alchemists had sent people over to protect Nya Li. His heart was even more confused. Why did the Association of Alchemists pay so much attention to Nya Li? After Yang Xen left, he must ask Nya Li. "It's late, so I won't bother you any more." Yang Xen glanced at Nya Li, who was next to her, and said, "Everyone have a good rest. I'll visit again in the daytime. Director Yang must be tired on the way back and forth. Why don't you stay in the Tensei family? I'll ask the servants to arrange an elegant courtyard for Director Yang. What do you think?" Nya Hai quickly said. Yang Xen was silent for a moment. She thought for a moment and said, "Okay." Anyway, she had to come to see Nya Li tomorrow, so it was better to stay here. "Nya Li, take Director Yang to the courtyard to rest." Nya Hai said to Nya Li, who was next to him, "I'll ask the servants to arrange a residence for you in the courtyard next to Director Yang's." "Yes." Nya Li nodded slightly. Yang Xen looked at Nya Hai. She didn't expect Nya Hai to be so tactful. He knew that she had something to say to Nya Li. After saying goodbye to Nya Ming and Nya Kai, Nya Li led Yang Xen to the courtyard arranged by Nya Hai. Looking at Nya Li's back, Nya Ming and Nya Kai understood at this time that Nya Hai removed Nya Wei's position, promoted Nya En to First Elder, and promoted them to deacons. All of this was related to Nya Li. Only now did they realize that their understanding of Nya Li was too little. Nya Li had undergone an earth-shattering change since his return. Regarding the various changes of Nya Li, Nya Ming and Nya Kai were naturally gratified. Chapter 61. Watching Nya Li leave with Yang Xen, Nya Wei, Nya En, and the others had different expressions on their faces. They all knew that from this moment on, Nya Li's position in the Tensei family was completely different. As for Nya Xiaofeng and Nya Sherry, they looked at each other and were dumbfounded. It seemed that they would have to live with their tails between their legs in the Tensei family in the future. In the courtyard, Yang Xen took off her coat and stretched lazily, completely showing her beautiful and charming figure. "Those 3 people from the Dark Guild came for you?" Yang Xen slightly leaned over to look at Nya Li and asked. Nya Li raised his head and looked at Yang Xen. "Yes." Nya Li nodded slightly. Yang Xen slightly frowned and said, "Since you are being targeted by the Dark Guild, then the Tensei family is no longer safe. Why don't you move to the Association of Alchemists?" Yang Xen didn't know why Nya Li was targeted by the Dark Guild. Could it be that the news of Nya Li giving those elixir formulas to the Association of Alchemists was leaked? The only people who knew about this matter were her and the president. No one else knew. Nya Li shook his head and said, "There is another reason for this matter. Do you think that if the Dark Guild knew that I gave those elixir formulas to you, they would only send 3 silver-ranked people to assassinate me? They would probably kidnap me at all costs, wouldn't they? Hearing Nia Li's words, young Xan nodded. It was true. Nia Li was thoughtful and didn't seem like a 13-year-old boy. Thinking of Nia Li's extraordinary talent, young Xan also felt relieved. Anyway, all the strange things that happened to Nia Li were not strange. Do you have a grudge against them? Young Xan stretched her waist, sat on the chair, and asked. If it's just an ordinary festival, then there's no need for her to be too worried. Under normal circumstances, the Dark Guild wouldn't risk sending a gold rank expert into Glory City. If it's just a silver rank expert coming to cause trouble for Nieli, then 1 or 2 gold rank fighters or demon spiritualists would be enough to ensure Nieli's safety. I don't have any grudges with the Dark Guild. Nia Li shook his head. Back in the ancient Orchid City, Nia Li didn't see Deacon Yunhua's face. Deacon Yunhua probably doesn't recognize him. There's no need for Deacon Yunhua to take such a huge risk to assassinate him in the Tensei family. The only possibility is that this matter was manipulated by the Sacred Family. Nia Li said, If there's anyone that I've offended, it's the Sacred Family that I've offended before. The Sacred Family is the only one that has a motive. Hearing Nia Li's words, young Xian's beautiful eyes flashed with a cold light. If that's the case, doesn't that mean that the Sacred Family is secretly colluding with the Dark Guild? The Dark Guild is the enemy of the entire Glory City. Colluding with the Dark Guild is absolutely intolerable. I'll send someone to investigate. If the Sacred Family is really colluding with the Dark Guild, then the City Lord will definitely not let them off. Yang Xian said decisively. Her tone was filled with a trace of coldness. Betraying Glory City is absolutely unforgivable. This time one of them escaped. Those people called him Deacon Yunhua. I'll draw a portrait for you, Nieli said. He took out a piece of paper from the bookshelf beside him. With just a few strokes, he drew the image of a person. It's Deacon Yunhua. Even his drawing technique is so skillful. Just what kind of monstrous existence is this youth? Yang Xian was shocked in her heart. Just the drawing technique alone, without a few years of immersion, it's impossible to reach Nia Li's level of proficiency. Drawing can calm one's heart. It's also very beneficial for cultivation. Therefore, Nia Li has been immersed in drawing for dozens of years in his previous life. His technique has already reached perfection. It's done. Nia Li passed the finished drawing to Yang Xan. Okay. Yang Xan took the drawing, lowered her head, and carefully looked at it. She couldn't help marveling at Nia Li's experience in drawing. She was filled with curiosity towards Nia Li. Just what is there that she doesn't know about this mysterious youth? Yang Xian pondered for a moment. Since that's the case, I'll go back and chase after this person. Okay, no rush. It's getting late. Big sister Yang Xian, go to bed early, Nia Li said in a childish voice, revealing an innocent smile like a child. He walked out of Yang Xian's room. Seeing Nia Li walking out, Yang Xian was stunned for a long time. Nia Li is so mature one moment and innocent like a child the next. Her mind is simply going crazy. Chapter 62. The Association of Alchemists quickly sent some gold rank demon spiritualists and gold rank fighters to the Tensei family, causing the Tensei family to be heavily guarded. The surrounding families of the Tensei family were very puzzled. The Tensei family is in existence at the bottom of the noble families. Such a family is actually able to attract the attention of the Association of Alchemists. They were both envious and jealous. With the Association of Alchemists taking care of the Tensei family, the status of the Tensei family suddenly changed. Those that had hostile relations with the Tensei family in the past were all panicking, fearing that the Tensei family would take revenge on them. As for those families that were estranged from the Tensei family, they all sent people to befriend them. The deterrence of the Association of Alchemists is simply too big. Furthermore, the Association of Alchemists now has the soul tempering pill, soul concentrating pill, and many other elixirs. Their influence has increased by several folds. Even the Snowwind family is now relying on the Association of Alchemists, hoping to obtain the elixirs from the Association of Alchemists. The Tensei family isn't able to sit back and relax. Aside from the Sacred Family, there's still the Dark Guild that has been hiding in the dark. Nye Li doesn't dare to be careless. After dealing with the family's matters, he concentrated on training. Although he has reached silver rank and integrated with the Shadow Devil demon spirit, Nye Li still has a strong sense of urgency in his heart. Aside from training, Nye Li is also constantly training in the various combat skills of the Shadow Devil demon spirit. Void Form combat skill, Divine Step combat skill, Backstab combat skill, Throat Cutting combat skill, Shadow Kill combat skill, Shadow Kill combat skill. Each and every one of them has been trained to perfection. If he were to encounter Deacon Yinhua again, that guy probably wouldn't be able to escape so easily. Just when Nye Li was sitting cross-legged in training, young Xian walked in from the outside. These few days, whenever she sees Nye Li, she would always think of the matter that happened that day, and her face couldn't help burning up. Nye Li, did your master tell you the formula for the other pills? For example, the mind-cleansing pill to fight against hallucinatory demon beasts, the detoxification pill to fight against poisonous demon beasts. Young Xian sat beside Nye Li for a while and finally couldn't help but ask. For the past few days, young Xian had been hesitating to speak. Finally, she couldn't help but ask. If there are new elixir formulas, we can continue to expand our business. Young Xian said, those elixirs from before have a very important meaning to the entire Glory City. Originally, she was also ordered by Gu Yan to meet Nye Li's master. However, after waiting for a few days, Nye Li's master still hasn't shown up. She also didn't dare to ask for anything. An expert like Nye Li's master, who's always been elusive, wouldn't be easily seen by outsiders. Is this Big Sister Yang's idea or President Gu Yan's? Nye Li asked as he looked at Yang Xian. He decided to tease this woman. It's President Gu Yan's idea. Then forget it. President Gu Yan is too insincere. He wanted to ask for elixir formulas, but he didn't come personally. Nye Li said with his eyes closed, lightly smiling. President Gu Yan has been refining elixirs nonstop recently, so... Yang Xian was a little embarrassed. She suddenly thought of something and revealed a charming smile. She whispered into Nye Li's ear, Good brother, you must have other elixir formulas in your hands, right? Why don't you tell Big Sister? No matter what you want to do, Big Sister will agree to it. Hearing young Xian's words, Nye Li couldn't help bitterly smiling. This seductress is obviously trying to entice him. Looking at the flirtatious young Xian in front of him, an ordinary man wouldn't be able to control himself. If he doesn't agree to it, who knows what young Xian might do? He quickly waved his hand and said, Forget it. Since Big Sister Yang is begging me, I'll tell you the elixir formulas. Nye Li took out 3 elixir formulas, including the Tranquil Spirit Pill, Spiritual Detoxification Pill, and the Flame Wine Cold Resistance Pill. There's even a Flame Wine Cold Resistance Pill. Young Xian's eyes couldn't help lighting up. Snow Wind Demon Beasts are the most common in the Saint Ancestral Mountains. The Cold Resistance Pill is a very useful elixir, but it's a pity that the Cold Resistance Pill has been lost for thousands of years. With this Flame Wine Cold Resistance Pill, Glory City will have more confidence in fighting against the Snow Wind Demon Beasts. For now, I only have these 3. These 3 elixirs are very useful, especially the Cold Resistance Pill. I believe that Big Sister Yang Xian knows of its use. Nye Li said, looking at Yang Xian. He has at least 30 different cold resistance pill formulas in his hands. He carefully studied them for a moment. Only the ingredients for the Flame Wine Cold Resistance Pill can be found in Glory City. Although the effects of the other cold resistance pills are stronger, there are some herbs that don't grow in Glory City. Therefore, he can only forget about them. Thank you, little brother Nyali. You are a great contributor to Glory City. If the city lord knows of this matter, he will definitely give you a title. Young Xian excitedly said, Forget about the title, I'm not interested. I hope that big sister Yang can help me keep this a secret. Nya Li casually waved his hand. Young Xian couldn't help looking at Nya Li in astonishment. She really doesn't know how a monster like Nya Li was raised. He's only a 13-year-old kid, yet he's so calm. He doesn't even put a title in his eyes. Young Xian was completely helpless and said, Since little brother wants to keep it a secret, we will naturally not leak it out. Of course, all the profits will be handed over to you by the Association of Alchemists. Nya Li lightly nodded his head. In this period of time, he has already received billions of demon spirit coins. All of them were stored in demon crystal cards. Every demon crystal card is equivalent to 10,000 demon spirit coins, which can save a lot of storage space. However, even so, Nya Li's interspatial ring isn't enough. If there's a new elixir formula, don't forget to tell me. Yang Xian's smiling face suddenly revealed a charming smile and said, Little brother, you really don't need this sister to do anything? No matter what request little brother has, this sister can agree to it. Yang Xian bent her body down. That sexy half of her body was faintly discernible. That enchanting figure, that tight and slender beautiful legs. Her whole body was emitting an indescribable temptation. Recently, this sister has been listening to you. I've cooked purple haze grass and tigers. I grass together. Look, isn't this sister a little bigger? Yang Xian's charming eyes were like silk. Needless to say, Yang Xian is indeed a woman that can captivate all living things. Although Nya Li would occasionally tease Yang Xian, his heart is still calm. Although he isn't as strong as he was in his previous life, but after all, the mental state from his previous life is still there. Nya Li blinked his eyes, innocently looked at Yang Xian, and asked, What does big sister Yang want to do? I'm just a 13-year-old child. I don't know anything. Looking at Nya Li's immature face, Yang Xian's face flushed red. Even if she wanted to tease him, under that innocent expression, she retreated in defeat. Awkwardly smiling, she said, It's nothing. I'll go back to the Association of Alchemists first. Although there was an indescribable throbbing in her heart. But thinking about Nya Li's age, Yang Xian's heart felt a deep sense of guilt. What am I thinking? Nya Li is just a child. Looking at Yang Xian's back as she left in a panic, Nya Li couldn't help but find it funny. But he quickly calmed down and continued to cultivate. After a few hours, both Nya Hai and Nya En walked in from the outside. Seeing that Nya Li was cultivating, they waited outside for a while. Although this doesn't seem to be in line with the identity of the patriarch and the great elder, they didn't dare to say anything. Now that Nya Li is an important figure in the Tensei family, his status isn't much lower than theirs. Nya Li opened his eyes, but he didn't get up. Looking at Nya Hai and Nya En, he asked, Patriarch, great elder, may I know why the two of you are looking for me? Nya Li. Nya Hai chuckled, completely devoid of his usual dignified appearance, and said, I came to find you today to ask if you're interested in going to the treasure auction. Nya Hai received the invitation from the Hong Yu family. The Hong Yu family is a noble family. Being invited by the Hong Yu family, Nya Hai naturally feels very honored. Although the Tensei family is a bit poor financially, since the Hong Yu family invited him, he will definitely come on the spot. The reason why Nya Hai came to invite Nya Li is to build a good relationship with Nya Li. With the Association of Alchemists behind him, Nya Li's status in the family is not the same as before. In order to not make the situation too awkward, he deliberately invited Nya En. Nya En's relationship with Nya Li is not bad, so he can talk to him. Treasure auction? Nya Li's brows slightly twitched and said, Okay, I'll go too. Hearing Nya Li's words, Nya Hai felt relieved. He was worried that Niali would reject him. Since that's the case, then sit in my carriage. Niahai lightly smiled and said, The carriage is already prepared. Niali stood up. Since the place isn't far, he doesn't need to pack anything. He followed Niahai and Nia-en into the carriage. The carriage slowly moved. Several gold rank demons, spiritualists, and gold rank fighters from the Association of Alchemists followed behind. They are here to protect Niali. Niahai secretly pondered in his heart. What's the relationship between Niali and the Association of Alchemists, for the Association of Alchemists to actually place such importance on him? Director Yang has already returned to the Association of Alchemists. Before she left, she specifically told me to take good care of you. It seems that Xiao Li's relationship with Director Yang isn't bad. Niahai lightly smiled and said. Nia Li lightly glanced at Niahai, but didn't say anything. Niahai suddenly felt a little awkward. He embarrassedly smiled. Nia Li didn't give him, the patriarch, any face at all. Nia-en, who was beside him, also felt helpless. Nia Li is a member of his branch. In the past, he could casually reprimand Nia Li, but now, even he can't figure out the situation. Nia Li's personality is completely different from before. Nia Li's cold look made him not dare to say anything. The atmosphere in the carriage was a little awkward. Xiao Li, if there's anything you like in the auction, let me know. I'll bid for it for you, said Niahai. The items in the rare item auction aren't simple. He's already prepared to bleed. Even if he has to spend a little more money, he wants to bid for 1 or 2 items for Nelly. After all, kids are easier to please. No need. If I like something, I'll buy it myself. I have the money to pay for it, said Nelly, shaking his head. In terms of wealth, the entire Tensei family might not be richer than him. Nia-en smiled and said, The items in the rare item auction aren't simple. Even the cheapest item would cost at least thousands of demon spirit coins. The expensive ones might even cost tens of thousands of demon spirit coins. I'm not interested in such a cheap item, Nia Li lightly said. Hearing Nia Li's words, Niahai and Nia-en were slightly stunned. They looked at each other and bitterly smiled. It seems like they still don't understand the situation. It seems like Yang Xian must have given Nia Li quite a lot of money. Thinking about it, since Yang Xian sent a gold rank expert to protect Nia Li, she must have given Nia Li some pocket money. They thought that Nia Li only has a good relationship with Yang Xian and is under Yang Xian's protection. What they don't know is that Yang Xian and Nia Li have an equal relationship. Inside Nia Li's interspatial ring, it's not as simple as pocket money. There are still 2 chapters at 12 p.m. Everyone, throw your recommendation votes here. Chapter 63. Hong Yu Auction House. This auction house is opened by one of the 7 noble families, the Hong Yu family. The Hong Yu family is a pivotal existence in the northern part of Glory City. There are 5 other noble families nearby that all listen to the Hong Yu family, including the Tensei family. In the past, because the Tensei family was suppressed by the Sacred Family, one of the 3 major families, the Hong Yu family distanced themselves from the Tensei family. But now, seeing the close relationship between the Association of Alchemists and the Tensei family, the Hong Yu family has been showing their goodwill to the Tensei family. The auction house was bustling with people. As nobles, Niahai, Nia-en, and Nia Li were arranged to be in the VIP room on the 2nd floor. Accompanying them were the patriarchs and their followers of the other noble families. Niahai saw a few familiar faces and went up to greet them. Patriarch Li Yuan, Patriarch Qi Feng, long time no see, Niahai said, cupping his hands. Li Yuan looks to be around 50 to 60 years old. Although his hair is a little white, his spirit is still hale and hearty. He's the patriarch of the Li Yuan family. Qi Feng, who is beside him, is slightly younger. He's the patriarch of the Tian Kuei family. Patriarch Niahai, how have you been? Li Yuan and Qi Feng also cupped their hands, lightly smiling. Haha, Thanks to the two of you, Nia Hai greeted. His relationship with Li Yuan and Qi Feng isn't bad. Even when he was suppressed by the sacred family, Li Yuan and Qi Feng still had some contact with Nia Hai. Seeing Nia Hai greeting Li Yuan and Qi Feng, Patriarch Jiangming of the Silver Tiger family and Patriarch Leijua of the Iron Gate family had traces of anger and jealousy on their faces. Patriarch Nia Hai seems to be very proud of himself. Patriarch Leijua said, lightly mocking. Patriarch Jiangming also coldly smiled and said, "Isn't that so?" Previously, he was suppressed by the sacred family and had to go to the sacred family to beg for help. Now that he has the protection of the Association of Alchemists, of course, he can jump around. However, how long could the Association of Alchemists protect the Tensei family? At that time, the sacred family might make things difficult for us. I wonder if Patriarch Nia Hai will be as proud as he is today. Hearing the words of Leijua and Jiangming, Nia Hai's face slightly changed. The families of Leijua and Jiangming have never been on good terms with the Tensei family. The sarcasm in their tone made Nia Hai very unhappy. Naturally, he won't show any weakness. He smiled and said, "Why do I smell such a big sour smell?" The Tensei family is indeed protected by the Association of Alchemists. At least it's better than some families that are not loved by their grandparents. Leijua and Jiangming's faces slightly sank. Truth be told, they are indeed very jealous of the Tensei family. The Association of Alchemists today is no longer the Association of Alchemists of the past. They heard that the Association of Alchemists purchased herbs from the Tensei family at a price 30% higher than the market price. Furthermore, the Association of Alchemists also gave the Tensei family quite a number of high-grade elixirs, which is enough to nurture many outstanding younger generations. As for their Silver Tiger family and Taimen family, the herbs that they grow have no market at all. They can only reluctantly sell them at a low price. As a lackey of the Association of Alchemists, you're still so full of yourself. You really think that the Association of Alchemists treats you like treasures? Leijua curled his lips in disdain. Hearing Leijua's words, Li Yuan and Qi Feng also spoke up. Patriarch Leijua's words are incorrect. If the Tensei family is a lackey of the Association of Alchemists, then there is no need for the Association of Alchemists to give such good conditions to the Tensei family, right? Li Yuan faintly smiled. He was obviously on Nia Hai's side. Qi Feng also nodded and said, "Indeed, it is obvious that the Association of Alchemists has something to ask of the Tensei family. That's why they gave the Tensei family such favorable conditions. Even our two families are benefiting from it." Li Yuan's Li Yuan family and Qi Feng's Tenkue family sold the herbs that they planted to the Tensei family at a price higher than the market price. The Tensei family then sold them to the Association of Alchemists. From this, they earned quite a bit of money. They and the Tensei family have already formed a community of benefits. This can also be considered as their repayment for the help they gave to the Tensei family when they were in dire straits. Leijua and Jiangming coldly snorted. They couldn't understand. The Association of Alchemists is such a huge force. Just what kind of matter would they need the Tensei family for? They sent quite a number of their underlings to investigate, but they didn't find any clues. The VIP lounge was filled with a faint hostility. Nia En and Nia Li sat by the side, enjoying their tea. Since it's a fight between the patriarchs, it has nothing to do with them. Therefore, they can't say anything. The patriarchs of the Silver Tiger family and Taimen family have always been arrogant. When the sacred family was suppressing us, they lowered the price and sent people to buy a piece of land from us. Nia En looked at Leijua and Jiangming. A trace of anger flashed in his eyes. If we knew that they were the ones who wanted to buy, we wouldn't have sold it no matter what. When the sacred family was suppressing us, these two families contributed the most and snatched away all of our business. Hearing Nia En's words, Nia Li's brows slightly twitched. If it's just an ordinary family fight, he wouldn't put it to heart. However, if these two families are the lackeys of the sacred family, Niali will definitely not let them go. The auction is about to start. The various patriarchs walked to the viewing platform and looked into the distance. The auctioneer in charge of the auction is a beautiful girl. She's wearing a somewhat transparent silk dress. Coupled with her exquisite face, she's filled with endless temptation. Nia Li has to say that the people of the Hongyu family are very smart. Such a sexy and hot girl, it's easy for people to get hot-headed and spend a lot of money. Recently, the Tensei family has been trading various herbs with the Association of Alchemists. They must have earned quite a lot of money. With Patriarch Niahai here, I'm afraid that the real treasures of this auction won't be in the hands of the two of us. Lei Zhui glanced sideways at Niahai and laughed heartily. That's true. How can our financial resources be compared to the Tensei family? Jiang Ming said, smiling. Niahai's expression was gloomy. How could he not hear the ridicule in Lei Zhui's and Jiang Ming's words? However, he could only swallow his anger. Although the Tensei family has earned quite a lot of money from their recent cooperation with the Association of Alchemists, their foundation is still very thin. They've only barely recovered their strength. How can they be compared to the Silver Tiger family and the Tai Men family? Li Yuan and Qi Feng also frowned. Lei Zhui and Jiang Ming are simply pressing them step by step. They're unrelenting and annoying. At this time, Niali, who's sitting on the right side of Niahai, suddenly said, "The two patriarchs are overpraising me. The Tensei family has nothing else but money. I'm afraid that the real treasures in today's auction won't be yours." Hearing Nia Li's words, Lei Zhui's face darkened. He said, "Brat, who do you think you are? Are you qualified to speak to us? Can you represent the Tensei family?" "Whether or not I can represent the Tensei family, you can ask Patriarch Niahai," Nia Li said indifferently. Nia Li's status in the Tensei family is indeed different from before. Niahai nodded and said, "Of course he can represent the Tensei family. A little brat dares to talk big here. He's really not afraid of biting his tongue." Lei Zhui snorted. Since Niahai said that Nia Li can represent the Tensei family, he had nothing to say. The Tensei family is really getting more and more regressive. They actually pamper a younger generation so much. Chapter 64. Lei Zhui turned his head. Too lazy to bother with Niali. Arguing with a kid like Nia Li will only lower his status. Nia Li looked at Niahai and Nia En and said, "I'll pay for the things that I bid later." Niahai and Nia En looked at each other, bitterly smiling. The two of them don't have any dignity. They can see that Nia Li doesn't have much respect for the two of them. When the other kids in the clan saw the two of them, they couldn't even speak properly. However, Nia Li still had an indifferent look on his face. In fact, in his previous life, when Nia Li saw Niahai, Nia En, and Bunch, he would be very nervous. However, in this life, Nia Li's state of mind has completely changed. There's no one that can give him a lot of pressure. Even if it's Yi Ziyun's grandfather, legend, rank, demon, spiritualist Yemo, Nia Li wouldn't feel uncomfortable. Just when Nia Li finished speaking, the auction has already started. Dear guests, for this auction, our Hongyu auction has prepared a lot of treasures for you. Many of them are rare items that we found from various ruins. I hope that everyone will like them. The girl's voice was like a heavenly melody. The first item is from the Qinghe town ruins. It's a broken piece of ancient jade. It contains a very dense soul force aura. The starting price is 300 demon spirit coins. Just when the girl finished speaking, someone raised his paddle. 350 demon spirit coins. 400 demon spirit coins. 500 demon spirit coins. 2,000 demon spirit coins. After the price rose to 2,000 demon spirit coins, it stopped. After all, it's a broken piece of ancient jade. Although there's soul force aura on it, it's only worth this price. An ordinary aristocratic family's annual income can only reach 1 million demon spirit coins. An ordinary family's annual expenditure is only 2,000 to 3,000 demon spirit coins. Therefore, 2,000 demon spirit coins is considered a lot to them. Nye Li glanced at that piece of ancient jade. From the color and luster, he can tell that it's a primary nether jade. The quality isn't bad. If it's used to its full potential, it should be worth 20,000 to 30,000 demon spirit coins. Seeing that no one in the VIP room responded, Nye Li raised his card again. Tensei family, 2,500 demon spirit coins. 2,500 demon spirit coins going once. 2,500 demon spirit coins going twice. 2,500 demon spirit coins going thrice. Deal. Congratulations to the Tensei family for winning this piece of ancient jade. Lei Zhuo looked at Nye Li's direction with a weird expression, mumbled, "He actually spent 2,500 demon spirit coins on a piece of broken jade. What's the use of it?" Nye Hai and Nye En were also a little confused, but since Nye Li was paying the bill, they didn't say anything. The next item for auction is a mysterious interspatial ring. Everyone, please take a look. The auctioneer girl slowly raised the ring. This interspatial ring is crystal clear without a single flaw. It's a storage ring. Inside, there's a space of over 200 square meters. It can be said to be of the highest quality. This ring was brought back by a gold rank fighter from the Ningyu City ruins. The Ningyu City ruins is the most dangerous and also the richest in treasures. The quality of the treasures from the ruins is extremely high. Many of them were kept by the city lord. The starting price of this ring is 50,000 demon spirit coins. The auctioneer girl's voice rose and fell. Finally, there's something good. But the price is so expensive, it's actually 50,000 demon spirit coins. This interspatial ring has such a big space, selling it for 50,000 demon spirit coins wouldn't be too much. The entire Tensei family's monthly income is less than 100,000 demon spirit coins, and they still need to maintain the family's expenses. This price of 50,000 demon spirit coins is enough to make Nye Hai and Nye En flinch. Some of the rich merchants below have already started bidding. 51,000 demon spirit coins. 53,000 demon spirit coins. 55,000 demon spirit coins. The competition is very intense. Lei Zhuo glanced at Nye Hai and Bunch, smiled and said, "Patriarch Nye Hai, you're not interested? Then I'll start bidding." 70,000 demon spirit coins. Lei Zhuo faintly said. The entire hall instantly turned silent. He actually increased it by 15,000 demon spirit coins. Indeed worthy of being the rich and overbearing Silver Tiger family. Seems like we can only forget about it. A few of the rich merchants who were drooling over this interspatial ring could only give up. For a long time, no one increased the price. Silver Tiger family bids 70,000 demon spirit coins. Is there anyone willing to bid a higher price? The girl's crisp voice asked. Although Nye Li has a few interspatial rings, the space is too small. They're all filled with demon crystal cards. It's really not enough. Since there's such a high-quality interspatial ring, Nye Li naturally won't give it up so easily. It's just the right time to buy one. An interspatial ring with a circumference of 200 meters. If he were to miss this opportunity, it would be hard to find a bigger one in the future. 100,000 demon spirit coins. Nye Li faintly increased the price. Hearing Nye Li's words, Nye Hai and Nye En felt their hearts tremble. Their hearts were bleeding. This is 100,000 demon spirit coins. My God! 100,000 demon spirit coins is more than the entire Tensei family's monthly income. Nye Li actually only bought one interspatial ring. Tensei family bids 100,000 demon spirit coins. Is there anyone willing to bid? The girl loudly asked. 100,000 demon spirit coins. Lage was sucked in a mouthful of cold air. He was a little dumbfounded. This price is already unbearable for him. That's 100,000 demon spirit coins. He opened his mouth, wanting to raise the price. However, he was worried that this might be a trap set by the Tensei family. Therefore, he didn't dare to raise the price anymore. 100,000 demon spirit coins going once. 100,000 demon spirit coins going twice. 100,000 demon spirit coins going thrice. Sold. The girl's hammer heavily fell. 100,000 demon spirit coins. This is undoubtedly a price that can make people excited. Nia Li looked at Nian and said, "Grand Elder, can you help me get those 2 items? I might need to use that interspatial ring soon. Here are 11 demon crystal cards. The rest will be a gift to Grand Elder." Nia Li casually took out 11 demon crystal cards. Nian was depressed. He felt that Nia Li was treating him as an errand boy. He's now the Grand Elder of the Tensei family. However, looking at those 11 demon crystal cards, Nian took a deep breath. He thought to himself, forget it. He'll just take it as bearing the humiliation. 11 demon crystal cards is 110,000 demon spirit coins. After deducting the price of the 2 items, there's still 7,500 demon spirit coins left. Just by running an errand, he can get 7,500 demon spirit coins. That doesn't seem to be a loss. With so many people in the Tengen family, their monthly income is only 100,000 demon spirit coins. For Nian to run an errand, he can get 7,500 demon spirit coins. Hai can't wait to do it himself. So poor. Hai couldn't help but sigh. Only he knows how serious the financial crisis of the Tensei family is. After deducting the monthly expenses of nurturing the younger generation, the Tensei family is still in a state of debt. Nia Li is too rich. As a member of the Tensei family, Nia Li should make some contributions to the family. However, Hai can't request anything from Nia Li. After all, the relationship between the Tensei family and the Association of Alchemists depends on Nia Li to maintain it. The next item is this jade bottle used to store elixirs. It's made from some kind of warm jade. It can greatly preserve the medicinal properties. It was dug out from a sunken ship at the bottom of the ancient wind spirit river. The Tensei family bids 60,000 demon spirit coins. Anyone else? 60,000 demon spirit coins going once, 60,000 demon spirit coins going twice, 60,000 demon spirit coins going thrice. Sold. The next item is a set of gold rank suit. Looking at the inscription patterns, it's from the Snow Wind era. This suit has the demon spirit of a scarlet flame tiger sealed within it. This is a species that was hunted to extinction during the Snow Wind era. Therefore, this set of gold rank suit is very likely to be unique. Only gold rank demon spiritualists can wear it. The starting price is 600,000 demon spirit coins. Seeing this set of gold rank suit, Nia Li's eyes slightly lit up. He raised his paddle and said, 1,000,000. Everyone was dumbfounded. The entire hall was silent for a long time. This guy simply doesn't give anyone a chance. Shaoli, did you bid for it for me? Thank you so much. Hai nervously rubbed his hands. This is a set of gold rank suit. Wearing this set, his strength will increase by at least 30%. Nia Li glanced at Hai and said, "Who said I bid for it for you?" But in the entire Tensei family, only I'm a gold rank demon spiritualist. Hai was stunned for a moment and said, "Aside from him, who else can wear this set of gold rank suit? I bid for it for my own use in the future." Nia Li lightly said. Hai opened his mouth wide. Hearing Nia Li's words, Hai's joyful mood immediately turned into incomparable bitterness. He was like a young married woman that was abandoned. Brothers, urgently seeking recommendation votes. Chapter 65. God knows how long it would take for Nyali to advance to gold rank demon spiritualist. Could it be that he spent 1,000,000 demon spirit coins to buy a gold rank suit just to look at it? Thinking about it here, Nyahai couldn't help feeling a little crazy. However, as the patriarch of the Tensei family, he can't lower his face to ask Nyali for it. It's only 1,000,000 demon spirit coins. For Nyali, it's nothing. Right now, Nyali's wealth can be ranked within the top 5 in Glory City. Furthermore, with the cooperation with the Association of Alchemists, Nyali can earn hundreds of millions of demon spirit coins every day. Nyali threw out 1,000,000 demon spirit coins without even blinking his eyes. If Nyali is willing, buying the entire auction house wouldn't be a problem. Of course, Nyali is still relatively low-key, using the name of the Tensei family to buy some treasures. Others wouldn't suspect anything. However, if he were to buy the entire auction house, it would be a little too high profile. At this moment, the rich merchants below were all discussing, how did the Tensei family suddenly become so rich? I heard that the Tensei family is now being taken care of by the Association of Alchemists. The Association of Alchemists is buying herbs from them at a price of 30% higher than the market price. There's actually such a thing. No wonder the Tensei family is so rich. Relying on his amazing hearing, Nyahai was extremely depressed in his heart. If the Tensei family is really that rich, then it's fine. However, the money used in the auction is all Nyali's. It has nothing to do with them. Although he is the patriarch of the Tensei family, the members of the Tensei family, aside from paying some money to the family every month, most of their assets are private. He has no way of asking Nyali to contribute his money to the family. Not to mention that Nyali's position is different now. He doesn't even dare to say a harsh word to Nyali. Lei Zhua and Jiangming were extremely depressed. In this auction, they saw the Tensei family continuously buying one item after another. They had nothing to do with it. Furthermore, they don't dare to raise the price anymore. If they lose it in their hands, then they would be depressed. As for Qi Feng and Li Yuan, they were enviously looking at Nyahai, sighing in their hearts. The Tensei family is really rich. They would never have thought that those items were bought by Nyali for himself, and not for the Tensei family. Look, I've gained a lot of face for our Tensei family. Nyali transmitted his voice to Nyahai, smiling as he said. Hearing Nyali's words, Nyahai rolled his eyes. He would rather not have this little bit of reputation. How many more items do you want to bid? Nyahai looked at Nyali and asked. Up till now, Nyali has already bid for more than 10 items. He has already spent nearly 2,000,000 demon spirit coins. Of course, I'm going to bid for anything that I fancy. Nyali lightly smiled and said. Nyahai's mouth was opened so wide that an egg could fit in it. Anything that he fancied. He's simply too rich. Yang Xian gave Nyali so much pocket money. This Association of Alchemists is really rich and overbearing. Just casually giving out some money is already something that ordinary people can't imagine. Seeing that no one was bidding for a long time, the auctioneer girl shouted a few more times and finally dropped the hammer. This gold rank suit finally belongs to Nyali. The next item is the Association of Alchemists' commission, soul nurturing pills and soul concentrating pills. The auctioneer girl smiled and said, This time we have received a total of 1,000 soul nurturing pills and 100 soul concentrating pills from the Association of Alchemists. I hope that everyone will cherish this opportunity. Hearing the girl's clear and pleasant voice, no matter if it's the wealthy merchants below or the 5 patriarchs, Nyahai, Qi Feng, Li Yuan, Lei Zhua, or Jiangming, all of them were excited. That's the soul nurturing pill and soul concentrating pill. When these 2 elixirs came out, it caused a huge uproar in the entire Glory City. Many demon spiritualists, after eating the soul nurturing pill and soul concentrating pill, had their cultivation soar by leaps and bounds. Some even broke through to silver rank or gold rank. some whose innate talent isn't suitable for cultivating soul force, after eating the soul nurturing pill and soul concentrating pill. Their soul force also received a huge increase. Under this kind of situation, these two elixirs are hard to come by. Every family has to use their family's financial resources. Even if they have to sell everything, they have to purchase the soul nurturing pill and soul concentrating pill, all for the sake of nurturing their family's younger generation. However, these two elixirs are simply too little. The amount that the Association of Alchemists can produce is simply not enough to supply the huge market of Glory City. Generally, only those major families and noble families can purchase these two elixirs in large quantities. The Hongyu Auction House is one of the top 3 auction houses in the northern region of Glory City. They only got a quota of 1,000 soul nurturing pills and 100 soul concentrating pills. This is simply too many monks and not enough gruel. Nia Hai's eyes flashed. He came here for these 2 elixirs. Nia Li, bid for as many of these 2 elixirs as you can. Nia Hai excitedly said, these 2 elixirs are good for raising cultivation, especially the soul concentrating pill. For Nia Hai, Nia En, and Bunch, it has a very strong effect. When their cultivation increases, their family status will also increase. Why are you bidding for these things? Nia Li asked in surprise. Could it be that the Association of Alchemists didn't give you these 2 elixirs? As the provider of these elixirs, Nia Li definitely doesn't lack these elixirs. Why did the Association of Alchemists give us these 2 elixirs? Nia Hai turned his head to look at Nia Li and curiously asked. Nia Li was stunned for a moment, then immediately understood. All along, the sale of these elixirs was controlled by Yang Xan. Yang Xan gave Nia Li a lot of elixirs, including hundreds of thousands of soul-nurturing pills, tens of thousands of soul-concentrating pills, thousands of soul-tempering pills, thousands of scarlet body-enhancing pills, 9 transformation pills, and so on. Yang Xan gave so many elixirs to Nia Li, so she didn't give any elixirs to the Tensei family. In her view, Nia Li represents the Tensei family. Oh, nothing. Nia Li shook his head and said, since it's like this, he'll just give some elixirs to the family. After all, he's still a member of the Tensei family. The atmosphere of the auction was very lively. The auctioneer on the stage, seeing the situation, lightly smiled and said, in this auction, all the soul-nurturing pills will be auctioned in batches of 100, and all the soul-concentrating pills will be auctioned in batches of 10. All right, the first set of soul-nurturing pills, the starting price is 100,000 demon spirit coins. The auction will now begin. 150,000 demon spirit coins. 160,000. The price quickly rose to 200,000 demon spirit coins. Nia Hai's expression was also excited. His face turned red. He's already prepared to take out 600,000 demon spirit coins. His goal is to get a set of soul-nurturing pills and a set of soul-concentrating pills. This is already the limit of the Tensei family's financial resources. Seeing the price of the first set of soul-concentrating pills reach 200,000 demon spirit coins, Nia Hai backed off. He doesn't need to compete with others for the first set of soul-nurturing pills, since there are still 9 sets left. Qi Feng and Li Yuan both looked at Nia Hai in astonishment. The Heavenly Marks family just casually threw out 2 million demon spirit coins, without even blinking their eyes. Why did they increase the price by 10,000 when they were competing for the elixirs? Why did they give up after increasing it to 200,000 demon spirit coins? Seeing that Nia Hai doesn't have any intention to compete, Qi Feng and Li Yuan only dared to join the competition. With the rich and overbearing Tensei family by their side, the psychological pressure on them is too big. From the beginning until now, they could only watch the Tensei family buy one item after another. They didn't even have the chance to call out a price. Now, they can finally participate in the competition. No matter what, they have to buy something back. Otherwise, it would be a waste coming here. Chapter 66. Lei Zhua and Jiang Ming also joined the scuffle. The four families raised the price to 320,000 demon spirit coins before stopping. Nieli, this is a soul-nurturing pill. Aren't you going to bid for it? Niahai rubbed his hands, eagerly looked at Nieli, and asked, It's better for Nieli to bid for this elixir than for it to be snatched away by other families. Not interested. I've already bid for so many things, I have to leave something for others to bid for. Otherwise, it's boring to bid alone. Nieli lightly said. Niahai bitterly smiled. The soul-nurturing pill is a good item to nurture the younger generation of the family. He suddenly remembered something. These elixirs are from the Association of Alchemists, and Nieli has a good relationship with Yang Xan. There's no reason for Yang Xan not to give Nieli some elixirs. No wonder Nieli has no interest in the soul-nurturing pill. Nieli, did Director Yang give you any elixirs? Niahai softly asked. Yeah, those elixirs are what I asked Sister Yang for. Patriarch wouldn't be thinking of snatching them away, right? If so, I'll tell Sister Yang. Nieli blinked his eyes and said in a serious tone. His eyes flashed a trace of a teasing smile. Occasionally teasing the Patriarch is also an interesting thing, although he has already decided to contribute a portion of the elixirs to the family. How could that be? Niahai simply wanted to cry. If Nieli told Director Yang about this, the cooperation between the Tensei family and the Association of Alchemists would be ruined. What I mean is, since Director Yang gave you the elixirs, you must take good care of them. Don't let others take them away. Oh, I misunderstood the Patriarch. Thanks for the Patriarch's concern. Nieli nodded his head. Niahai bitterly smiled and turned his head. Kids these days are too hard to deal with. It's hard to get any benefit from Nieli. Niahai's heart is filled with bitterness. The first batch of soul-nurturing pills was won by Lei Zhua with the price of 320,000 demon spirit coins, followed by the second batch, third batch, fourth batch, and fifth batch. Every time Niahai wanted to bid, the price of the elixirs would be raised to 300,000 demon spirit coins. Niahai was depressed. If he won a batch of soul-nurturing pills, he wouldn't have any money to bid for the soul-concentrating pills. He can only watch the other patriarchs fight, silently crying in his heart. This bunch of patriarchs are too rich, Niahai indignantly thought. After all, the Tensei family's foundation is too weak. They just started working with the Association of Alchemists. They were previously in debt and only recently paid off. How can they be compared to the Silver Tiger, Iron Gate, and other families? These families' foundation is still quite rich. Seeing this bunch of people fighting so fiercely, Nieli was secretly speechless. This elixir business is really profitable. Anyway, the money from the auction, after deducting the auction fees, 30% will be his. Nieli was happy to see this happen and did not join in. Although he can raise the price, but this amount of money is nothing to Nieli, who earns hundreds of millions of demon spirit coins a day. Seeing one batch of soul-nurturing pills after another falling into the hands of others, without any share for himself, Niahai's heart can be imagined. After the 5 batches of soul-nurturing pills were sold, although the intense scene calmed down a little, the price of each batch did not fall below 300,000 demon spirit coins. Patriarch Niahai, I can see that you're not enthusiastic in raising the price. Are you not interested in the soul-nurturing pills? Chi Feng curiously asked. Niahai is really bitter. He wanted to say that he really doesn't have any money, but the problem is, will Chi Feng and the rest believe him? Earlier, the one who was throwing away money like that was Nieli, not him. Li Yuan thoughtfully said, Patriarch Niahai has a close relationship with the Association of Alchemists. You should be able to buy a lot of low-priced elixirs from the Association of Alchemists. If there are any low-priced elixirs, Patriarch Niahai, don't forget about us. As long as the price is lower than 300,000 demon spirit coins, we'll buy as many as you can. All right, Niahai reluctantly replied. Even if he denies it, Chi Feng and Li Yuan wouldn't believe him. He can only helplessly look at Nia Li. Seeing Nia Hai's depressed gaze, Nia Li blinked his eyes with an innocent look. He still wants to tease this smelly old man, who asked him to keep a straight face in his previous life. The last 10 batches of soul-nurturing pills were all auctioned off. Lei Zhua got 3, Jiangming got 2, Li Yuan and Qi Feng got 1 each, and the rest were bought by other wealthy businessmen. Next up is the soul concentrating pill. Upon hearing the words soul concentrating pill, the atmosphere of the entire auction house became even more heated. One must know that the soul concentrating pill has quite a bit of use for silver rank and gold rank demon spiritualists, especially those who have been stuck on the edge of advancement for a long time. A soul concentrating pill can create a gold rank demon spiritualist. It can even help a gold rank demon spiritualist break through to black gold rank. One can only imagine how tempting it is. 350,000 demon spirit coins, the auctioneer loudly said. 360,000 demon spirit coins. 390,000 demon spirit coins. Very quickly, the price rose to more than 500,000 demon spirit coins. Furthermore, it's still going up. Seeing that it's nearing 600,000, this price already made Nia Hai dumbfounded. He originally thought that 600,000 demon spirit coins would be enough to buy a soul concentrating pill. He never thought that he wouldn't even be able to buy one. If he knew this would happen, he would have bought a soul nurturing pill. Don't tell me that he has to return empty-handed this time. Nia Hai was depressed to death. This bunch of people are too crazy. Just 10 pills, they actually raised the price to such a high price. Is there still justice in this world? Wasn't the Alchemist Association a little too profiteering? Nia Hai's heart was filled with indignation. However, who asked the Tensei family to be the most miserable among the aristocratic families? Previously, they had to sell a lot of their territories to pay off their debts. Being able to gather 600,000 demon spirit coins is already their limit. 650,000. The first soul concentrating pill was sold for 650,000 demon spirit coins. Nia Hai and Nia looked at each other and bitterly smiled. They gloomily watched as Lei Zhua kept the soul concentrating pill into his bag. Nia Li, Elder Nia, finally couldn't bear it anymore. He said to Nia Li, "Can you help us bid for a soul concentrating pill? We'll owe you the money first. We'll pay you back in the future." Nia Li threw out 2 million demon spirit coins without even blinking his eyes. Borrowing 650,000 demon spirit coins shouldn't be a problem. If it was Nia Hai who asked, Nia Li wouldn't give him any face. Although Nia Hai is the patriarch of the Tensei family, he was estranged from Nia Li in his previous life. However, Nia En is different. When Glory City was destroyed, Nia En gave Nia Li's family a lot of protection. Therefore, Nia Li still has some respect for Nia En. Grand Elder, since you've opened your mouth, this matter is naturally not a problem. However, there's really no need to bid for this soul concentrating pill. Nia Li's right hand moved, took out a few big bottles from his interspatial ring, stuffed them into Nia En's hands, and said, "There are 5,000 soul nurturing pills, 600 soul concentrating pills, and 100 soul tempering pills. Consider it as a gift to Grand Elder." Hugging the bottles, Nia En's eyes were dull. His voice was trembling. 5,000 soul nurturing pills, 600 soul concentrating pills, and soul tempering pills? Nia En was completely dumbfounded. Nia Hai was also dumbfounded. The various families in the auction house are still fighting for a few soul nurturing pills and soul concentrating pills. However, Nia Li casually took out 5,000 soul nurturing pills, 600 soul concentrating pills, and even the soul tempering pills that can't be bought in the market. Oh my God, am I dreaming? Nia En was still in a daze. Chapter 67. After receiving it from Nyali, Nye-en opened one of the bottles. He quickly discovered that it was filled with soul-nurturing pills, soul-concentrating pills, and soul-tempering pills. No matter if it's soul-nurturing pills, soul-concentrating pills, or soul-tempering pills, every single one of them is very small, but it's the real deal. There's actually soul-tempering pills, and a total of 100 of them. My God, one must know that the effect of the soul-tempering pill is 10 times stronger than the soul-concentrating pill. Aside from a few major families that can enjoy this level of elixir, it's impossible to buy soul-tempering pills in the market. The Snow Wind Auction House in the center of Glory City once auctioned a batch of soul-tempering pills. One of the soul-tempering pills was sold at a sky-high price of 1.5 million demon spirit coins. 100 of them is over 100 million demon spirit coins. Thinking of this number, Nye-en almost fainted. Even if you have so much money, unless you have some special means, it's very hard to buy soul-tempering pills in the market. Because these elixirs just came out, the price is very expensive. But actually, the Association of Alchemists has a lot of stock. In the future, the price will slowly drop. This amount of elixirs is nothing. Contributing to the Tensei family is the duty of every family member. Nye Li said righteously. Hearing Nye Li's words, Nye Hai was depressed. Just now, when he asked Nye Li didn't have any intention of giving him the elixirs. He even said that if Nye Hai were to take the elixirs from him, he will tell Director Yang. He doesn't have any intention of contributing to the family. If it was Nye-en, he would instantly give out so many elixirs. Nye Hai felt that he, as the patriarch, is really useless. He actually gave out 5,000 soul-nurturing pills, 600 soul-concentrating pills, and 100 soul-tempering pills. Nye Hai felt his heart trembling. With these elixirs, how long would it last for the Tensei family? Great Elder, quickly keep it. When we return, we can give it to our branch clansmen to use. Nye Li reminded Nye-en. Hearing Nye Li's words, Nye-en recovered from his shock and hurriedly stored the pills in his space ring. He looked into the distance with some worry. When they had spoken, they had controlled their voices, so the 4 patriarchs hadn't heard them. Knowing that no one had noticed them, Nye-en relaxed. Thinking of the pills in the spatial ring, Nye-en felt a strong sense of happiness in his heart. With so many pills, it was enough to raise the strength of the branch clansmen to another level. The Tensei family had a total of 8 branches. Usually there were still some conflicts between the branches, so Nye-en wasn't selfless. Nye Li, Nye-en, Great Elder, this isn't right. All the members of the Tensei family are our clansmen. How can you disregard the clansmen of the other branches for your own selfishness? Nye Hai hurriedly said. Looking at Nye Li and Nye-en, they weren't prepared to share the pills with the other branches. Nye Li and Nye-en looked at each other. Nye Li looked at Nye Hai and said doubtfully, "These pills are mine. I can give them to whoever I want. Is there anything wrong with this? Aren't the clansmen of our branch clansmen of the Tensei family? The strength of our branch's disciples has increased, which also means that the strength of the entire Tensei family has increased. How can this be generalized? These pills have to be distributed to all the clansmen to achieve the greatest effect." Nye Hai hurriedly said, "There are so many pills. No matter what, we have to distribute some to the other branches, right?" Nye-en's position among the elders of the Tengen family was relatively low. It was only recently because of Nye Li that he became the clan's law enforcement elder. Nye-en had always been kind to others and was relatively cowardly. He rarely fought for anything for the clansmen of his branch. But today, with so many pills, Nye-en was finally full of confidence. These pills were enough to determine the future of the entire family. Patriarch Nye Hai, these pills are given by Nye Li. Nye Li can give them to whoever he wants. I don't have the power to decide. Nye-en said respectfully, kicking the ball to Nye Li. Anyway, Nye Li now had young Xian's support, so he could ignore Nye Hai. You Nia Hai was depressed. This grandfather and grandson were simply in cahoots. Nia Li didn't intend to fall out with Nia Hai. Of course, he still had to take care of the clansmen of the other branches. With so many pills, the clansmen of his branch couldn't use so many at once. Anyway, he could get more pills in the future, so he didn't care about this. Great Elder, divide these pills into 2/5 and hand them over to the clan for distribution. Nia Li looked at Nia En and said, "And okay." Nia En nodded. He wasn't someone who didn't see the big picture. 3/5. Nia Hai argued. Only 2/5. If Patriarch Nia Hai doesn't want it, then forget it. Nia Li shook his head and said with absolute dominance, "With so many pills, even if he only took out 2/5, it would be enough for the Tensei family to use for a long time. How about this? We take out half and hand it over to the clan." Nia En tried to smooth things over. Great Elder really understands the big picture. Nia Hai owes you a favor. Nia Hai cupped his hands and said seriously, half was already very good. After all, the number of pills had far exceeded his imagination. Patriarch Nia Hai, do you mean that I don't see the big picture? Nia Li raised his eyebrows slightly. I didn't mean it like that. Xiao Li misunderstood. I apologize to Xiao Li. Xiao Li can contribute so many pills to the clan. It proves that Xiao Li still cares about the clan. Nia Hai was scared and quickly apologized. If Nia Li got angry and took back all the pills, he would cry. Unknowingly, Nia Li had completely grasped the initiative. The identity of the patriarch was completely useless to Nia Li. When Nia Li got angry, Nia Hai had to carefully apologize. Although he was depressed, he didn't dare to say anything. However, when he thought of those pills, Nia Hai didn't have any anger anymore. So many pills were enough to have a profound impact on the Tensei family. Even if he had to suffer more anger, it was worth it. Nia Li snorted twice and turned his head. Nia En couldn't help but find it funny. In the past, when Nia Li saw the elders in the clan, he was afraid, not to mention Nia Hai. Now the situation was completely reversed. In front of Nia Li, Nia Hai simply didn't dare to breathe. Where was the majesty of a patriarch? The 10 soul concentrating pills were finally divided by the various families and wealthy merchants. Everyone who bought the pills had an excited look on their faces. At this moment, whether it was Nia Hai or Nia En, they instantly had a feeling of being above everyone else. For a mere 100 soul concentrating pills, they actually fought like this. The entire Hongyu auction house was allocated a quota of 1,000 soul nourishing pills and 100 soul concentrating pills. But they were sitting on so many soul nourishing pills and soul concentrating pills. If they were to be converted into money, it was simply unimaginable. Not to mention the amazing effect of the soul tempering pill. His heart was excited, but it was like he was still in a dream. Nia En's hands unconsciously covered his interspatial ring. This was the first time that his interspatial ring contained such a huge amount of wealth. His heart couldn't help but feel a little uneasy. He was afraid that it would be stolen. Although it was very safe to put it in the interspatial ring, he still felt uneasy. And Nia Hai, who was at the side, was simply like Nia En's guarding beside Nia En. If someone dared to snatch their pills, they would definitely risk their lives to fight the other party. Chapter 68. The elixirs that Nia Li casually gave out were comparable to the entire wealth of a noble family. Nia Li had provided the Association of Alchemists with so many elixir formulas. In terms of elixirs, the Association of Alchemists would definitely try their best to satisfy Nia Li. The elixirs that were given to Nia Li were equivalent to 1/5 of the entire Association of Alchemists' output. It can be said that other than the Association of Alchemists, the one who had the most elixirs on hand was Nia Li. Other than the soul-nurturing elixir, soul-concentrating elixir, and soul-tempering elixir, I also have the Scarlet Body enhancing elixir and 9 transformation elixir. Nia Li purposely paused for a moment. He even has the legendary Scarlet Body enhancing elixir and 9 transformation elixir. Nia Hai and Nia En's eyes blazed with passion. These two precious elixirs, Lord Patriarch can't possibly ask me to give them to the family for free, right? Nia Li's meaning was that if Nia Hai wanted to get these two elixirs from him, then he would have to perform well and give some generous conditions. That's for sure. The family's private property is protected by the family, Nia Hai hastily said. He was also a little vexed in his heart. What benefits can he give to Nia Li? Nia En suddenly thought of something and said, "That's right, Lord Patriarch, our Tensei family has a long history. There's still many good things passed down from ancient times in our family's treasury. Since Xiao Li has already been accepted into the genius class of the Holy Orchid Institute, shouldn't we let Xiao Li pick an item from the treasury as a reward?" Tensei family's treasury? Nia Li's heart was slightly moved. In his previous life, he had never entered the treasury of the Tensei family. As a descendant of one of the 10 lords of the Snow Wind Empire, the Tensei family's treasury should still have some good stuff. There were many treasures that had been passed down for a long time. Nia Hai and the others might not know their uses, but Nia Li was different. In his previous life, Nia Li had appraised countless treasures. Generally, good things could not escape Nia Li's eyes. Elder Nia En, take this Scarlet Flame Body Enhancing Pill after you go back. It's especially useful for strengthening the physical body of a martial artist. Nia Li handed a Scarlet Flame Body Enhancing Pill to Nia En and said, "Thank you, Xiao Li." Nia En was a little excited. The price of the Scarlet Flame Body Enhancing Pill was very hot outside. It said that the price of a Scarlet Flame Body Enhancing Pill was raised to over 1 million demon spirit coins. Nia Hai was a little jealous. This Scarlet Flame Body Enhancing Pill is not only effective for fighters, it's also very useful for demon spiritualists. Xiao Li, the Tensei family is your home. The treasury of the Tensei family is your treasury. If there's anything in there, as long as you like it, you can take it. Nia Hai immediately agreed with Nia Hai. Although there are still some things in the treasury, those that can be used have already been taken out. What's left are things that even they can't use. He can't wait for Nia Li to treasure the things inside and take a few more. The elixirs that Nia Li gave to the Tensei family is already comparable to the value of the entire Tensei family's treasury. Patriarch is really generous. I've misunderstood Patriarch all this while. This is a Scarlet Flame Body Enhancing Pill. I'll gift it to Patriarch. After I'm done choosing from the treasury, I'll gift 100 Scarlet Flame Body Enhancing Pills and 109 Transformation Pills to the family, Nia Li lightly said. Since he has a lot of elixirs in his hands, gifting a little is nothing. Hearing Nia Li's words, Nia Hai's eyes lit up. He can't wait to fly back to the Tensei family. The auction is still ongoing. The elixir auction has already ended. Lei Shuo and Jiang Ming both glanced at Nia Hai. Nia Hai must have been pretending to be rich earlier, spending 2 million demon spirit coins to buy a bunch of elixirs. When it's time for the elixirs to be auctioned, he won't have any money left. Lei Shuo coldly laughed. Jiang Ming also added, "Although the gold rank set is useful, it can only be used by one person. Furthermore, it can only be used in battle. In the end, it's not as practical as these elixirs. I reckon that Nia Hai's intestines will turn green from regret." What they don't know is that Nia Hai and Bunch have already gotten so many elixirs from Nia Li. Why would they still be interested in the elixirs in the auction? As they were talking, Nia Li once again started to bid crazily. He consecutively bid for 5 to 6 million demon spirit coins worth of items. As long as there's even a little bit of interest, he would bid for them all. Since he has so much money, he can't finish spending it. Putting so many demon crystal cards in his interspatial ring takes up space. He might as well buy them. So the Tensei family isn't interested in those elixirs, not because they're out of money. Lei Shuo and Jiang Ming's faces were burning. Damn it! Since when did the Tensei family become so rich? Their hearts were extremely depressed. After half an hour of auction, Nieli bought dozens of items. However, there wasn't much that could make Nieli excited. He was a little bored. At this moment, the female auctioneer suddenly raised her voice and used a very enticing voice to say, "This auction is about to end. However, we will soon have an incomparable treasure that will be auctioned." Just when the female auctioneer finished her words, more than 20 people walked into the auction venue. These people were wearing luxurious clothes. Under the guidance of a few beautiful girls, they walked up the stairs, all the way to the 3rd floor of the auction venue. The entire venue was in an uproar. "I know that person. He's an elder of the Feng Ming family. That's an elder of the Winged Dragon family. That's an elder of the Sacred family. Why would they come here? I heard that the Hong Yu clan has found an incomparably rare treasure in the dark ruins this time. That's why they're holding this auction. They've even invited the representatives of the 3 great peerless families and the other 6 grand families to participate in the auction. The items that were auctioned earlier shouldn't be of interest to these super forces. After all, they can be bought in other auctions. Their purpose for coming here this time is the so-called incomparable treasure of the Hong Yu family. They actually found it from the dark ruins. My God, they actually have the guts to enter the dark ruins. Dark ruins? Nia Li recalled that place. In his previous life, he didn't enter it. He only heard about it from others. The dark ruins is a nightmarish place. Only black gold rank and above experts would dare to enter. That place is home to a large number of terrifying demon beasts. It's said that during the early stages of the Age of Darkness, a legend, rank demon spiritualist lived there. The demon spirit that the legend, rank demon spiritualist integrated with was a terrifying demon spirit. After the legend, rank demon spiritualist passed away, that place was occupied by a nightmare demon spirit. The nightmare demon spirit is a very mysterious and frightening demon spirit. There are many mysterious abilities that even Nia Li doesn't fully understand. Furthermore, the nightmare demon spirit is one of the hardest demon spirits to capture. Nia Li wondered what the Hong Yu family got from the dark ruins this time. Nia Li couldn't help looking forward to it. What exactly is the item that the Hong Yu family is going to auction? The representatives of the 3 major families and the 7 noble families took their seats. The atmosphere in the auction venue froze. Everyone was looking forward to what item the Hong Yu family will take out. Chapter 69. The 3 major families and 7 noble families are all here. It seems like there are also people from the Association of Alchemists and the top 10 chambers of commerce. That item definitely won't belong to us. However, even if it doesn't belong to us, it's still good to see such a big scene. Everyone in the auction house started to discuss. "Everyone, please be quiet for a moment." The young auctioneer lightly smiled and said, "We're about to present the rare treasure to everyone." At this moment, the auction house instantly quietened down. 2 beautiful girls walked up with a plate. On the plate, there was something that was covered by a purple cloth. Only a vague outline could be seen. What exactly is that thing? Simply whetting our appetites. At this moment, the young auctioneer revealed a charming smile. With a pull of her right hand, the purple cloth was removed. In an instant, light shone in all directions. A black jade pot made of an unknown material appeared in front of everyone. This pot was sparkling and translucent. On top of it, there was a dazzling light. A dense soul aura spread out. Seeing this sparkling black jade pot, Nia Li couldn't help being excited. He never thought that he would actually see this item here. This item is indeed a rare treasure. It's not something that can be measured with money. Even our patriarch isn't clear about the origin of this item. However, there's one thing that's very clear. The pure soul force fluctuation that's being emitted proves that this item isn't an ordinary item. At the bottom of it, the word nightmare is engraved. It must be related to the nightmare demon spirit. The young auctioneer continued, Furthermore, according to our patriarch, if one cultivates a demon spirit around it, it can greatly strengthen the aura of the demon spirit. Therefore, we can be sure that this is a rare treasure. Our patriarch hopes that someone with knowledge will be able to use it. The starting price of this item is 8 million demon spirit coins. The patriarch of the Hong Yu family didn't know the use of this black jade pot, which is why he gave such a low price. If he knew the true use of this black jade pot, he probably wouldn't even be willing to sell it. Just the fact that cultivating beside it can strengthen the aura of the demon spirit is worth a lot of money. Not to mention, there are still many other uses that haven't been discovered yet. When the representatives of the various families felt the rich soul energy in the air, they couldn't help but be moved. They were extremely interested in this black jade pot. What is this black jade pot? I don't know, but I can be sure that this thing is definitely not simple. How rare. I really want to study it. Who knows? It might have some special uses. Looking at the black jade pot in front of him, Nya Li couldn't help but reveal a pensive expression. This black jade pot should be the legendary treasure, the Nightmare Demon Pot. The inheritance of the Nightmare Demon Pot was even before the Snow Wind Empire. It was said that it was discovered in an ancient tribe. Even Nya Li only knew one of the uses of the Nightmare Demon Pot. One of the uses of the Nightmare Demon Pot was to refine demon spirits. The general process is to absorb 10 different demon spirits into the Nightmare Demon Pot. There's a chance that an even more powerful demon spirit will be born. If one's luck is good, it's possible to get a rare demon spirit. If one's luck isn't good, it's possible to fail and the demon spirit will be destroyed. The probability of failure is relatively small. At the same time, the chances of refining a rare demon spirit is also relatively small. Most of the time, the Nightmare Demon Pot can refine a more powerful demon spirit. Just this one use is enough to make countless people go crazy for it. After all, the majority of demon spiritualists can only integrate with one demon spirit. Of course, they hope that the stronger the demon spirit, the better. Using weak demon spirits to integrate with a powerful demon spirit. This is the Nightmare Demon Pot. Probably not many people know the use of the Nightmare Demon Pot. Thinking of the might of the Nightmare Demon Pot, Nya Li immediately decided that no matter what price he has to pay, he must get the Nightmare Demon Pot. Soon, the various families began to bid. 10 million demon spirit coins. 12 million demon spirit coins, 15 million demon spirit coins. Very quickly, the price rose to 20 million demon spirit coins. This price already made the people in the auction hall extremely shocked. 30 million demon spirit coins. The sacred family suddenly bid. 30 million demon spirit coins. The Association of Alchemists bid. Nya Li glanced at the third floor from afar. The one who bid seems to be young Xan. After thinking for a bit, Nya Li said to Nya En, Grand Elder, Director Yang seems to be on the third floor. Go and see Director Yang and tell her that I want this black jade pot. Let Director Yang help me bid for it. I'll pay the Association of Alchemists when the time comes. Hearing Nya Li's words, without waiting for Nya En to reply, Nya Hai said, Let me go. Nya En's interspatial ring is filled with elixirs. How would he dare to let Nya En go? As the patriarch, he can only be reduced to running errands. However, he's still willing to do so. Nya Hai went to look for Yang Xan. The sacred family and the Association of Alchemists continued to compete. After the Association of Alchemists raised the price to 50 million demon spirit coins, the sacred family gave up. In terms of wealth, even the 3 major families can't be compared to the Association of Alchemists. 50 million demon spirit coins, the Association of Alchemists is really rich. Of course, the Association of Alchemists' elixirs are so popular recently. The daily income is probably in the hundreds of millions. After a moment, Nya Hai returned. He nodded towards Nya Li and said, Director Yang agreed. Yang Xian definitely can't reject Nia Li's request. After all, Yang Xian still has a lot of things to ask of Nia Li in the future. To the Association of Alchemists, spending such a small amount of money is just a drop in the ocean. Everything that Nia Li has brought to the Association of Alchemists can't be measured with money. When the price reached the level of 50 million demon spirit coins, the majority of the families didn't dare to compete. Furthermore, many families have to buy elixirs from the Association of Alchemists. Therefore, they still have to give some face to the Association of Alchemists. Although they were drooling over the black jade pot, they didn't bid too much. At this moment, a person wearing a gray cloak suddenly started to bid. 55 million demon spirit coins? Who is he? There's actually someone bidding? Everyone in the auction house curiously looked at the mysterious person wearing the gray cloak. Usually, families don't need to pay a deposit when bidding. When ordinary people bid, they have to pay a deposit before they can participate in the auction. This mysterious person actually bid 55 million, which means that he must have paid a deposit of more than 55 million. The price of this black jade pot has actually risen to such a shocking level. This amount of demon spirit coins is already equivalent to the entire wealth of an aristocratic family. At this moment, Yang Xian, who was sitting on the third floor, slightly frowned her brows. For the past few days, she has been at the branch in the northern part of Glory City. After receiving the Hong Yu family's invitation, she decided to participate in this auction. She never thought that Nia Li would also be here. Originally, she had some interest in this jade pot. She thought that it was something that could be used to concoct elixirs. Therefore, she wanted to buy it and bring it back to study it. She never thought that Nia Li would also be interested in it. Since it's something that Nia Li wants, the Association of Alchemists will definitely help Nia Li buy it. However, when the price reached 55 million demon spirit coins, the price was a little out of her expectations. 55 million to buy a black jade pot that she doesn't know the use of, is it worth it? Just a few hundred votes away from being on the list. Everyone, please vote for Snail. Chapter 70. 60 million demon spirit coins. Although she was a little nervous, Yang Xian still continued to increase the price. This is because Nia Hai said that no matter the price, she must buy this jade pot. Nia Li will pay for it. 60 million demon spirit coins. Is it really worth this price? What exactly is this jade pot? Could it be that Nia Li knows the use of this jade pot? Yang Xian glanced at the mysterious man downstairs. She doesn't know where this guy came from, but he actually came to compete for this item. 65 million demon spirit coins. The mysterious man hesitated for a moment, then continued to increase the price. 70 million demon spirit coins. Yang Xian continued to increase the price. The price continued to increase. Nia Hai and Nia An were both dumbfounded. They know that this item is what Nia Li wants to buy. However, this price is too shocking. Nia Li is much richer than they imagined. How much money did the Association of Alchemists give to Nia Li? Why would the Association of Alchemists give Nia Li so much money? Their hearts were filled with doubts. Nia Li's brows furrowed as he looked at the mysterious man. Just who was this guy? He actually increased the price? Nia Li thought for a moment. Did the Hong Yu auction house find someone to help them? It shouldn't be. If this matter were to spread out, the Hong Yu auction house's reputation would be ruined. The Association of Alchemists wouldn't let them off. They wouldn't do such a stupid thing. Furthermore, the price has been increased to such a degree. Even the Association of Alchemists might not accept this item. If this item were to fall into their hands, they would lose more than they gain. Could it be someone from the Dark Guild? Other than the various large families and chambers of commerce. Only the Dark Guild has the financial resources to compete for this item. The Dark Guild went around kidnapping the members of various aristocratic families, extorting money from them and robbing people on the way. No one knew how much money they had earned, but they were still very powerful. Nia Li was silent for a moment before he said, Patriarch, I'll have to trouble you to pass a message to Director Yang. I'll repeat what I said, no matter what price we have to pay. We must get this black jade pot. After the auction is over, immediately send someone to follow that mysterious person. The people we send must be at least gold rank, and it would be best if they were black gold rank. Absolutely do not let him discover them. Nia Hai raised his eyebrows slightly and nodded. All right. He vaguely felt that this matter was not as simple as it seemed. A person of unknown origin actually had such strong financial resources to compete with the Association of Alchemists. At this time, it was likely that more than one force had their eyes on the mysterious man below. 100 million demon spirit coins. When the Association of Alchemists shouted out this price, the experts from various forces were a little dumbfounded. Their hearts were filled with doubt. Could it be that the Association of Alchemists knew about the effects of this item, which was why they shouted out such a price? Or could it be that the Association of Alchemists really had too much money and didn't know where to spend it? 100 million demon spirit coins. This is too ruthless. 110 million demon spirit coins. The mysterious man below hesitated for a long time. When the young auctioneer was about to hit the hammer, he finally increased the price once more. 120 million demon spirit coins. Yang Xian quickly increased the price once more. The mysterious man finally understood Yang Xian's determination and did not continue to increase the price. The deposit that he paid was already not enough. Everyone below the stage was extremely excited to be able to see such an intense auction in their lifetime. They've really broadened their horizons. They don't know what this black jade pot is, but it's actually auctioned for a sky-high price of 120 million demon spirit coins. This price is probably something that only the Alchemist Association can afford. Towards this black jade pot, everyone had a strong curiosity in their hearts. The auction finally came to an end. The crowd slowly dispersed. Nia Li and the rest went to pay the bill and collect their items. In a secret room of the auction, Nia Li met up with Yang Xian. Yang Xian held onto the black jade pot, smiled, and asked Nia Li, "Little brother, do you know what this thing is used for?" In order to buy this black jade pot, she spent a total of 120 million demon spirit coins. This price, even for the Association of Alchemists, is not a small amount. Although the Association of Alchemists is making a lot of money every day, it hasn't reached the point where they can squander it as they wish. I also don't know what this thing is used for. Nia Li spread out his hands and said with a smile, "Big sister doesn't believe you. You spent so much money just to buy such a useless thing?" Yang Xian crossed her arms in front of her chest, making her ample bosom even more attractive. She looked at Nia Li with a smile that isn't a smile. "If you're not willing to say anything, then Big Sister Yang will take this black jade pot back and study it. It's precisely because I don't know what it's used for. That's why I bought it. Its aura is so pure. It's definitely not an ordinary item. My master might know what it's used for." Nia Li once again brought out his non-existent master, chuckled, and said, "Anyway, it's just a little bit of money. It's nothing." Hearing Nia Li's words, Yang Xian's face immediately showed some respect and said, "Since you're buying it for your master, then quickly keep it well." Nia Li's master is most likely a master alchemist. Yang Xian doesn't dare to be rash. There should be 120 million demon spirit coins in this interspatial ring, Nia Li said as he took out an interspatial ring. Yang Xian shook her head and blocked the interspatial ring. She charmingly smiled and said, "Consider this item bought by the Association of Alchemists as a gift for your master." Because of the elixirs provided by Nia Li's master, the Association of Alchemists has earned a lot of money. More importantly, the strength of Glory City has increased by a lot. The Association of Alchemists was worried that they wouldn't be able to curry favor with Nia Li's master. This is a good opportunity to gift him a gift. How could they miss it? If Nia Li's master is happy, he can casually provide 1 or 2 elixir formulas. The significance of that would be huge. Nia Li went silent for a moment, calmly received the nightmare demon pot, lightly smiled, and said, "Then I'll have to thank big sister Yang. I'll tell master. Then I'll have to thank little brother." Yang Xian smiled and said. Then, as if she thought of something, she asked, "You asked me to send someone to follow the bitter. Did you discover something?" Actually, even if Nia Li didn't say it, she would have done it. If she knew that the bitter was the Hong Yu family's helper, the Hong Yu family would die miserably. "I suspect that it might be someone from the Dark Guild." Nia Li thought for a moment and said, "However, this is only my guess." No matter who it is, to actually bid such a high price for the nightmare demon pot. Could it be that other than him, there's someone else who knows the use of the nightmare demon pot? Someone from the Dark Guild. Yang Xian's eyes slightly narrowed. If I know that he's someone from the Dark Guild, then he can forget about leaving Glory City. I've already entrusted a black gold, rank demon spiritualist to follow him. Big Sister Yang, it's best if you don't alert the enemy. Even if you want to catch him, you have to catch him alive. Nia Li, who knows, we might be able to find evidence of a sacred family colluding with the Dark Guild. Brothers, the recommendation board is an emergency, requesting for recommendation support. Chapter 71. I understand. Yang Xian nodded her head, lightly smiled. Then I'll head back first. Nia Li said to Yang Xian. After bidding farewell to Yang Xian, he quietly left through the small door. The price of the nightmare demon pot has reached an astonishing 120 million. Such an item would definitely make people's eyes turn red. With Nia Li's current strength, if he's targeted by someone, he might not have the ability to protect such a treasure. But luckily, other people don't know that the nightmare demon pot is in Nia Li's hands. Everyone thinks that the nightmare demon pot is in Yang Xian's hands. Ordinary people wouldn't dare to have any ideas on Yang Xian. After all, Yang Xian's current position is very important in Glory City. Nia Li quietly left, along with Nia Hai and Nia En, sat in the carriage and returned to the Tensei family. Nia Li looked at Nia Hai and Nia En and solemnly said, "The matter of this nightmare demon pot absolutely cannot be told to anyone." Of course. Nia Hai and Nia En hurriedly nodded their heads. They also understand the seriousness of this matter. If other people were to know that the mysterious jade pot is in Nia Li's hands, it might attract trouble that even the Tensei family can't handle. Right now, Nia Li's interest is the Tensei family's interest. "Are we going back to the family now?" Nia Hai asked. "No." Nia Li shook his head and said, "I want to go to the Xian Ling Chamber of Commerce to buy demon spirits." "Buy demon spirits? You've already reached silver rank?" Nia En suddenly thought of something and asked. Nia Li was silent for a moment and nodded. At this time it seemed that there was no need to hide it from Nia Hai and Nia En. Receiving Nia Li's confirmation, Nia Hai and Nia En looked at Nia Li in shock, sucking in a mouthful of cold air. They remembered that a few months ago, Nia Li hadn't even reached 1-star bronze rank. How could he reach silver rank so quickly? A 13-year-old silver rank demon spiritualist. My God, he's simply a peerless genius. In the entire history of Glory City, there's only a handful of them. The first demon spirit must be chosen well. Whatever demon spirit you want to choose, we can give you some references. Nia Hai solemnly said, "The demon spirits that Xian Ling Chamber of Commerce sells are indeed the best in the northern part of Glory City. Going there, he should be able to buy a pretty good demon spirit. What they don't know is that Nia Li has already integrated with a shadow devil demon spirit. This time, what he wants to get isn't as simple as an ordinary demon spirit. What reference can Nia Hai give him?" "I have my own thoughts," Nia Li said, shaking his head. Nia Hai and Nia En looked at each other, bitterly smiling. They have completely forgotten that this 13-year-old boy in front of them isn't an ordinary person. He's simply a monster. They can't influence any of Nya Li's decisions. The carriage sped forward. Nya Li let Nya Hai confirm that there's no one following them. Only then did he feel relieved. Nya Li is still a little worried that someone would target him. Whether it's the Sacred Family or the Dark Guild, their forces are too big. Luckily, for the time being, the Dark Guild and the Sacred Family won't notice him. Why would these super forces care about a youth? By the time the Dark Guild and the Sacred Family start to notice his existence, Nya Li would have already grown to the point that they won't be able to deal with him. Xian Ling Chamber of Commerce. VIP room when Nya Li and Bunch revealed their identities. The people of Xian Ling Chamber of Commerce immediately welcomed Nya Li and Bunch into the secret VIP room. The one who received Nya Li and Bunch is an old man with white hair and beard. He's the manager of Xian Ling Chamber of Commerce, called Xiao Mingfeng. As the head of Xian Ling Chamber of Commerce, Xiao Mingfeng's information network is very fast. The news of the Tensei family being extravagant in the Red Moon auction house was quickly spread to his ears. Therefore, the Tensei family has already been listed as one of the important customers. Please have some tea. Xiao Mingfeng smiled and made a gesture. Thank you, Manager Xiao. Nya Hai lightly smiled and said, I'm here to buy a demon spirit for my grandnephew. Our Xian Ling Chamber of Commerce will wholeheartedly serve every customer, Xiao Mingfeng said, lightly smiling. His eyes looked at Nya Li. I wonder what kind of demon spirit Patriarch Nya Hai is planning to buy. We have all kinds of demon spirits here. Xiao Mingfeng took out a booklet. On it, there are hundreds of kinds of demon spirits. Whether it's the type, attribute, etc., they're all listed very clearly. He also gave a rough price range. Xian Ling Chamber of Commerce is the largest demon spirit trader in the northern part of Glory City. Every day, they would purchase a large amount of demon spirits from adventurers and sell them. Among them, there are no lack of precious demon spirits. The higher the grade, the rarer the demon spirit, the more expensive the price. A cheap demon spirit can be bought for a few hundred or a few thousand demon spirit coins. An expensive demon spirit, after being appraised, can reach millions or even tens of millions of demon spirit coins. I wonder what kind of demon spirit the Tensei family will buy. Xiao Mingfeng secretly thought. It will depend on how much importance Nya Hai places on Nya Li. Nya Hai took a glance at Nya Li. Nya Li did not look at the booklet. He looked at Xiao Mingfeng and asked, Manager Xiao, what kind of demon spirit do I buy from you? Will you keep it a secret? Xiao Mingfeng was a little surprised as he looked at Nya Li, nodded his head, and said, Of course, we will keep it a secret for every customer. We will absolutely not divulge any customer's information. Okay, Nya Li said, slightly nodding his head. He took the booklet, pointed at one of the demon spirits, and said, Nightmare-type demon spirits. How many do you have here? Hearing Nya Li's words, Xiao Mingfeng was slightly stunned. He took a glance at Nya Hai. Can a kid like Nya Li keep his word? Seeing Nya Hai nodding his head, Xiao Mingfeng said, Nightmare-type demon spirits are the rarest and most difficult to control. I suggest that, young master, for your first demon spirit, do not choose a nightmare-type demon spirit. We only have around 50 nightmare-type demon spirits in our storage. I want all of them, Nya Li said. I hope Manager Xiao can give me a fair price. Xiao Mingfeng sucked in a mouthful of cold air. He looked at Nya Li in shock. Does Nya Li know how much money that is? Why would Nya Li buy so many demon spirits? A person can only integrate with one demon spirit at most. That's right, I want all of them. Nya Li seriously nodded his head. Nya Hai and Nya En were also extremely shocked as they stared at Nya Li. Only after a long while did they recover from their shock. Rest assured, I will pay, Nya Li indifferently said. Xiao Mingfeng looked at Nya Hai. Nya Hai bitterly smiled, nodded his head, and said, Manager Xiao, please bring all the nightmare-type demon spirits over. We want all of them. Okay. Xiao Mingfeng revealed an excited expression. Generally, only one nightmare-type demon spirit can be sold every 1 or 2 months. Nia Li wants to buy all the nightmare-type demon spirits in the storage. This is definitely a big customer. Xiao Mingfeng hurriedly and respectfully said, since everyone is buying so many demon spirits at once, I guarantee that the price will be absolutely fair. We believe in Manager Xiao. After all, in the future, we will come here to purchase even more demon spirits, Nia Li calmly said. When these words came out of Nia Li's mouth, for a moment, Xiao Mingfeng treated Nia Li as an adult. He really doesn't know how this kid was taught. His wisdom is simply too monstrous. Everyone, please wait for a moment. I'll immediately go get the nightmare-type demon spirits, Xiao Mingfeng said and hurriedly left. Xiao Li, why are you buying so many nightmare-type demon spirits? Nia En curiously asked. Nia Li is too rich. Forget about him spending money in the auction. Now he's here to buy demon spirits. Could it be that he has too much money and nowhere to spend it? After all, a person can only integrate with one demon spirit. I have my own uses for it, Nia Li said, lightly smiling. Chapter 72. Very quickly, Xiao Mingfeng returned with a large pile of demon spirit stones. After a demon spirit is captured, it would usually be sealed within a demon spirit stone and stored. Rows of demon spirit stones were lined up on the table, creating a spectacular scene. These are silver rank nightmare demon spirits. The price is around 60,000 demon spirit coins. These are gold rank nightmare demon spirits. The price is around 300,000 demon spirit coins. Xiao Mingfeng pointed at the demon spirit stones and explained to Nia Li. Aside from being able to be integrated with a demon spiritualist, a demon spirit can also be sealed within a battle armor, allowing the battle armor to gain a powerful strength. Demon spirit of silver rank and above is already very expensive, easily tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of demon spirit coins. Ordinary people simply can't afford it. However, for a tycoon like Nia Li, this isn't a problem at all. And the price is still fair. I'll take them all. Nia Li nodded his head. Xiao Mingfeng turned his head and looked at Nia Hai and Nia En. Nia Hai and Nia En looked at each other and bitterly smiled. Xiao Mingfeng has always wanted to seek their opinion, but he doesn't understand that the two of them can't make the decision. Nia Li's right hand moved, took out a small mountain of demon crystal cards from his interspatial ring, placed it on the table, and said, "This is all the money, Manager Xiao. Please count it." Nia Li is actually paying himself. Looking at the small mountain of demon crystal cards, Xiao Mingfeng was deeply shocked. This Tensei family is too awesome. They actually let a kid hide so much money on him. However, Xiao Mingfeng didn't think too much about it. He's just a proper businessman. Since Nia Li is paying, then there's no problem. Nia Li's right hand moved, throwing 53 demon spirit stones into his interspatial ring. I hope that Tensei family will take care of our business in the future. After Xiao Mingfeng put away the demon crystal cards, his smile became more and more humble. This is definitely the biggest business he has ever done since he started trading demon spirits. Shopkeeper Xiao, you don't have to be so polite. We still want to buy more today. Shopkeeper Xiao, don't tell me that you want to send us off so soon? Nia Li lightly glanced at Xiao Mingfeng. How could that be? Little Master still wants to buy demon spirits? Xiao Mingfeng asked. Nia Li was calm and collected, giving him a faint sense of oppression. He smiled bitterly in his heart. Was this really a 13 or 14-year-old boy? How monstrous. Of course, the nightmare demon spirit is only a part of it, Nia Li calmly said. The shock in Xiao Mingfeng's heart is hard to describe. Just how many demon spirits does Nia Li want to buy? However, As a shop owner, he naturally hopes to sell as many demon spirits as possible. I also need toxic demon spirits, snow wind demon spirits, and fighter-type demon spirits. Shopkeeper Xiao, please bring out all the demon spirits you have in stock. Did he want all the stocks again? Oh my god! However, very quickly, Xiao Mingfeng eagerly brought out all the demon spirits in stock. The nightmare demon spirits are relatively rare, but these demon spirits are much more numerous. Some have thousands of demon spirits, with the lowest having thousands of them. However, in terms of price, they are cheaper than the nightmare demon spirits. A total of 65 million demon spirit coins. Xiao Mingfeng calculated. Just calculating the price of these demon spirits made him sweat profusely. 65 million demon spirit coins. Shopkeeper Xiao, please count it. Nia Li took out 6,500 demon crystal cards and filled the table. Xiao Mingfeng was shocked. Ever since he started this business, this is the first time he saw so much money. The key point is that this money was actually taken out from a kid's interspatial ring. This is simply too shocking. Shopkeeper Xiao, I still need to purchase a batch of demon spirits. Nia Li said, looking at Xiao Mingfeng. As long as young master has an order, I, Xiao Mingfeng, will definitely do my best. At that time, you only need to send someone to pass a message to me, and I will send all the demon spirits to the Tensei family. Xiao Mingfeng respectfully said. He no longer treats Nia Li as a kid. This is his biggest customer. A single transaction is more than a few years' worth of transactions. He must take good care of Nia Li. Otherwise, if such a customer were to run away, he would have the heart to cry. All right, Patriarch, Grand Elder, let's go back. Nia Li said, looking at Nia Hai and Nia En. All right. Nia Hai and Nia En nodded their heads. Originally, they were preparing to bring Nia Li to the Hongyu auction house to see the big scene. They never thought that Nia Li would bring them to see the big scene. Even now, their hearts are still beating wildly. This can't be blamed on them. The entire Tensei family's annual income is only 1 million demon spirit coins. And this time, when Nia Li went out, he spent over 100 million demon spirit coins on a pot and over 60 million demon spirits. It's already pretty good that he didn't get a heart attack. After Nia Li, Nia Hai, and Nia En bid farewell to Xiao Mingfeng, they rode the carriage back to the Tensei family. In this trip, no matter if it's Nia Li, Nia Hai, or Nia En, all of them had a bountiful harvest. Nia Hai and Nia En hurriedly gathered the family members. They want to distribute the elixirs in their hands, allowing the family members to increase their strength as much as possible. Nia Li returned home. Under Nia Hai's arrangement, Nia Li and his family moved into an independent house in the Tensei family. It's only a step away from the patriarch's residence. It can be said to be the safest place in the entire Tensei family. Nia Li is very satisfied with this arrangement of Nia Hai's. Nia Li placed a lot of elixirs, demon crystal cards, and other things in his house, allowing his family to use them anytime, in case of emergencies. He himself stayed in his room and focused on training. In the evening, Yang Xian from the Association of Alchemists sent a message over. A group of assassins tried to kidnap Yang Xian, wanting to snatch the nightmare demon pot. However, they were killed by Yang Xian's guards. Nia Li's brows twitched. They actually dared to do such a thing in Glory City. Their guts are too big. Could it be that the person who wanted to snatch the nightmare demon pot also knows about the usage of the nightmare demon pot? Otherwise, they wouldn't do such a risky thing. Only the Dark Guild would dare to do such a thing, whether it's the Sacred Family or the Dark Guild. They're both threats that need to be dealt with. Although Nia Li's strength has been increasing very quickly, his strength is still only at silver rank. It's still far from enough. The Shadow Devil Demon Spirit is an assassin-type demon spirit. In terms of assassination, it's indeed very powerful. However, under normal circumstances, it's better not to casually use the Shadow Devil Demon Spirit. If the various abilities of the shadow devil demon spirit aren't exposed to the outside world, it'll have an unexpected effect. However, if it's used in the open, it'll be studied by many people and the abilities of the shadow devil demon spirit will be suppressed. Therefore, Nyali still needs to integrate with more demon spirits, because the heavenly god cultivation technique can integrate with 7 demon spirits. Every time he integrates with a demon spirit, Nyali's strength and cultivation speed will have a substantial increase. Of course, Nyali is very picky about demon spirits. After his rebirth, Nyali won't integrate with some ordinary trash demon spirits. After obtaining the shadow devil demon spirit, Nyali was already prepared to go to some ruins to search for some special demon spirits. However, after obtaining the nightmare demon pot, Nyali had a new idea. Using the nightmare demon pot to refine demon spirits. Chapter 73. Nyali took out the nightmare demon pot. The surface of this pitch-black jade pot was flickering with a faint luster, emitting a trace of mysterious aura. This item is an ancient treasure. He never thought that it would appear in the auction house. Therefore, Nyali would disregard everything to bid for it. If he were to miss out on this nightmare demon pot, Nyali would definitely regret it to death. Nyali's right hand caressed the nightmare demon pot, sending a trace of soul force into the nightmare demon pot. The nightmare demon pot suddenly emitted rays of light in all directions, forming an inexplicable connection with Nyali. Nyali only knows a little about the usage of the nightmare demon pot. He still needs to do more research on it. One of the usage of the nightmare demon pot is that if 10 demon spirits of the same attribute are placed into the nightmare demon pot at the same time to refine, there's a certain probability of refining a stronger demon spirit. Of course, there's also a chance of failure. The reason why Nyali bought so many demon spirits is to refine a stronger demon spirit. I already have an assassin-type demon spirit. Now, what I need the most is a fighter-type demon spirit that can fight against people head-on. Nyali thought a while. He bought over 2,000 fighter-type demon spirits. He doesn't know if he can refine a powerful fighter-type demon spirit out of these 2,000 fighter-type demon spirits. Every demon spirit is divided into bronze, silver, gold, black gold, legend rank, and so on according to the strength of their soul before they die. This is the standard of Glory City. What ordinary people don't know is that every demon spirit's growth rate is different. Even if it's a very low-level demon spirit, if its growth rate is strong enough, it's not impossible for it to kill a legend rank demon spirit after being nurtured. At the same time, there are some special demon spirits that have a stronger growth rate than ordinary demon spirits. For example, Nyali's shadow devil demon spirit. Nyali divided the growth rates of demon spirits into 5 levels: inferior, normal, good, excellent, excellent, and god level. The shadow devil demon spirit is undoubtedly the type of demon spirit that has a god level growth rate. The growth rate of the shadow devil demon spirit is limitless. Ordinary people wouldn't know how to determine the growth rate of a demon spirit. Only Nyali knew that the growth rate of a demon spirit could be determined using a soul crystal, just that the method used was different. The second demon spirit he fused with would have a far-reaching impact. Therefore, Nyali naturally had to choose carefully. Even if he couldn't get a god-level growth rate demon spirit, he had to at least get an extraordinary one. Otherwise, he would be letting down the nightmare demon pot that he bought with such a high price. Nyali took out 10 demon spirit stones and used a soul crystal to test the rank of the 10 demon spirits. Scattered soul clouds, low-level demon spirit. Scattered soul clouds, low-level demon spirit. Scattered soul clouds, low-level demon spirit. A broken soul cloud, a normal rank demon spirit. Nyali quickly began to test the 10 demon spirits. 7 of them were of low rank and 3 of normal rank. Nyali couldn't help feeling a little disappointed. Sure enough, it's hard to find a high growth rate demon spirit from a normal rank. Nya Li was a little depressed as he thought about it. Wanting to find a god-level growth rate demon spirit like the Shadow Devil demon spirit is too difficult. Otherwise, Nya Li wouldn't have taken such a big risk to enter the ancient Orchid City ruins. However, these demon spirits are trash to Nya Li. If they were obtained by an ordinary person, they would definitely be regarded as a treasure. Nya Li placed the 10 demon spirits into the Nightmare Demon Pot and used his soul force to activate the Nightmare Demon Pot. In an instant, the Nightmare Demon Pot continuously flashed, emitting a dazzling light. Inside the pot, a halo of light flowed. Nya Li could see that after the 10 lights rotated, they slowly merged together. In the end, it formed into a dense fog. Roughly 10 minutes later, the light from the Nightmare Demon Pot slowly subsided. A demon spirit was like a spirit swimming around the bottom of the Nightmare Demon Pot. Nya Li captured the demon spirit and attached it to a normal demon spirit stone. Afterwards, he checked the growth rate of the demon spirit. A slightly complete soul cloud, it's already a good rank. The Nightmare Demon Pot is indeed extraordinary. However, a good rank demon spirit is still far from enough. Nya Li shook his head. With his eyesight, a good rank demon spirit is definitely not something he would look up to. Nya Li placed the good rank demon spirit to the side, then picked up another 10 demon spirit stones and started checking. 10 fighter-type demon spirits. The best is a barbarian bull demon spirit, which is a good rank demon spirit. Nya Li fused them again and again. Refining success. Refining success. Refining failure. The refining failure rate is still quite small. Only after dozens of refinements would there be one failure. However, after refining for over 60 times, the best is an excellent rank fighter-type demon spirit. The rest are all good rank fighter-type demon spirits. This won't do. Nya Li shook his head. The difficulty of raising the rank of these low-rank demon spirits is quite high. However, there are still so many demon spirits left. Nya Li will not give up on refining them. Among the 2,000 demon spirits, there's no need to refine them. They are already excellent rank fighter-type demon spirits. There's a total of 60 of them and 200 of good rank demon spirits, which are still pretty good. Some of these demon spirits have a higher growth rate. For an entire 2 days, Nya Li continuously refined. Again and again, he fused the low rank and normal rank demon spirits into good rank. He then used the good rank demon spirits to continue fusing them into excellent rank. In the end, he was left with over 90 excellent rank demon spirits. He then used these excellent rank fighter-type demon spirits to fuse with excellent rank demon spirits. The higher the rank, the higher the failure rate. In the end, he successfully fused with 5 excellent rank demon spirits. Looking at these 5 excellent rank demon spirits, Nya Li was still a little unwilling. 10 excellent rank demon spirits. He only has 1 chance to fuse with a god-level growth rate demon spirit. Furthermore, the failure rate is very high. When fusing with an excellent rank demon spirit, the success rate is only 50%. If he's fusing with a god-level demon spirit, having a success rate of 20% is already pretty good. The Association of Alchemists has already sent over their recent earnings. It's around 1 billion demon spirit coins. After thinking a while, Nya Li went to see Nya Hai and Nya En. He asked Nya Hai and Nya En to help him purchase a large amount of fighter-type demon spirits. He wants as many as he can get. Every time he buys a fighter-type demon spirit, he'll give them a reward. The reward that Nya Li gave was very generous. Naturally, they would do their best. Very quickly, Nya Hai and Nya En went to various chambers of commerce to help Nya Li purchase fighter-type demon spirits. After spending hundreds of millions, Nya Li bought tens of thousands of fighter-type demon spirits. Afterwards, he crazily used the Nightmare Demon Pot. As the number of times he fused increased, Nya Li realized that the Nightmare Demon Pot also had some obvious changes. The originally chaotic nightmare demon, Pot, became very clear. He could even clearly see the situation of the demon spirits fusing within the nightmare demon Pot. Nya Li felt a chill in his heart. He could feel that the nightmare demon Pot can absorb a portion of the demon spirit's energy during the process of fusing with a demon spirit. As time passes, the nightmare demon Pot will become even more powerful. Chapter 74. For a full 5 days, Nya Li concentrated on integrating demon spirits. Finally, he managed to integrate over 60 extraordinary-level demon spirits. Over 60 extraordinary-level fighter-type demon spirits. I should be able to get a god-level fighter-type demon spirit, right? Nya Li inwardly thought to himself as he continued to refine, placing 10 extraordinary-level growth rate demon spirits inside. Nya Li activated the nightmare demon Pot and started the integration. A dazzling light flickered. Nya Li saw a 7-colored light flickering within the nightmare demon Pot. Every demon spirit's color was a little different as they gradually mixed together. I wonder what will be the first successful fighter-type demon spirit. Nya Li was looking forward to it as he stared at the nightmare demon Pot. As time passed, the group of demon spirits inside the nightmare demon Pot suddenly disappeared with a bang and dissipated. Failed! Nya Li opened his mouth, feeling a heartache. One must know that this kind of failure is equivalent to tens of millions of demon spirit coins, turning into nothingness in an instant. If an ordinary person were to play like this, they would go bankrupt. Although Nya Li is rich, the chances of success aren't high. There are only 6 chances, and he failed on the first attempt. How depressing! Nya Li took a deep breath and placed another 10 extraordinary-level growth rate demon spirits inside. Once again, he activated the nightmare demon Pot and started the integration. After 10 minutes, the nightmare demon Pot once again dissipated with a bang. Failed again. Nya Li had the urge to vomit blood. In just a blink of an eye, another tens of millions of demon spirit coins were gone. Is it really that hard to create a god-level growth rate demon spirit coins? Although Nya Li was a little depressed, he did not give up. Losing a little money doesn't matter. What he has now is money. Nya Li took another 10 extraordinary-level growth rate demon spirits and started the third integration. 10 demon spirits were constantly changing at the bottom of the nightmare demon Pot, slowly fusing together. Dazzling lights were constantly flickering. Wave after wave of intense soul force fluctuations were emitted from the nightmare demon Pot. Feeling this majestic soul force, all the pores on Nya Li's body open up. His soul realm constantly absorbed the soul force from the nightmare demon Pot, and his whole body felt warm. The 10 extraordinary rank demon spirits constantly merged and transformed, finally forming a brand new demon spirit. Success! Looking at the demon spirit quietly lying at the bottom of the nightmare demon Pot, Nya Li was extremely excited. He guided the demon spirit to a demon spirit stone and carefully examined it. A god-level growth rate demon spirit. After using the soul force crystal to examine the demon spirit's talent, Nya Li couldn't help being ecstatic. After 2 failures, he finally managed to create a god-level demon spirit. This demon spirit is an abyss tiger demon beast belonging to the fighter type. It's surging with power, and basically all of its characteristics are similar to an abyss tiger. However, what's different from an ordinary abyss tiger is that its entire body is emitting a dark metallic luster. On its head is a pair of terrifyingly sharp horns, and its body is covered with spikes. Is this still an abyss tiger? Nya Li couldn't help being secretly shocked, because this demon spirit is formed from the fusion of different demon spirits. Its characteristics are different from ordinary demon spirits. It's much stronger than ordinary demon spirits. Among the fighter-type demon spirits, the abyss tiger is already one of the stronger ones. After this transformation, Nia Li doesn't know what other special abilities it has. Nia Li stored the Abyss Tiger demon spirit and continued to merge with other demon spirits. He still has 3 more chances. In the next 3 attempts, Nia Li's luck is pretty good. He succeeded twice. One of them is a scarlet demonic leopard covered in scales and has a pair of wings on its back. The other one is actually a fang panda. Seeing that the 3rd demon spirit is actually a fang panda, Nia Li was dumbfounded. This fang panda is chubby. The fur on its body is alternating between black and white, making it look charmingly naive. It doesn't seem to have any offensive capabilities. It's actually a fighter-type demon spirit? This is a little confusing. Nia Li tested the growth rate of this demon spirit. It's indeed a god-level demon spirit. The Fang Panda is a very low-level demon beast. It doesn't have any offensive capabilities. In the end, only a few of them could form into a demon spirit. Nia Li doesn't know who managed to hunt a fanged panda demon spirit. What's even more surprising is that when the nightmare demon pot is merging with other demon spirits, it's usually the stronger demon spirits that devour the weaker demon spirits. In the end, only the strongest demon spirit will be formed. For example, the Abyss Tiger and the Scarlet Demonic Leopard are both very powerful. How did this fanged panda devour so many other demon spirits and survive? How strange! Nia Li couldn't help sighing. He carefully looked at this fanged panda. Whether it's the Abyss Tiger or the Scarlet Demonic Leopard, after devouring other demon spirits, their bodies underwent some special changes. For example, the Abyss Tiger grew horns and spikes on its back, while the Scarlet Demonic Leopard grew scales and wings. However, this fang panda didn't have any changes. It's exactly the same as an ordinary fang panda. After being silent for a moment, Nia Li thought of something. When the nightmare demon pot is refining demon spirits, the demon spirits will evolve towards a stronger direction. Whether it's the Abyss Tiger or the Scarlet Demonic Leopard, it's the same. However, this fang panda didn't have any changes. Doesn't that mean that this fang panda is already in its strongest form? Nia Li is very clear about the majority of demon spirits' characteristics. However, he's a little confused about this fang panda. That's because the fang panda is too weak. Almost no one would choose to merge with a fang panda. Perhaps the fang panda isn't that simple. Nia Li pondered for a moment. He carefully sensed the fang panda's demon spirit. He could feel that there are 2 completely different powers within the fang panda's body. These 2 completely different powers complement each other, forming a miraculous balance. Yin and Yang balance. This is the most perfect form in nature. Within the fang panda's eyes, there's a deep light. There seems to be a trace of consciousness remaining. This is completely different from ordinary demon spirits. Ordinary demon spirits would lose their consciousness after they die. How strange! However, I've decided. You'll be the 2nd demon spirit that I'm going to merge with. Nia Li lightly smiled and stored the Scarlet Demonic Leopard and Abyss Tiger. He only needs to merge with 1 fighter-type demon spirit. Too many would be a waste. Daozit and Lu Piao are also suitable to merge with fighter-type demon spirits. I'll give these 2 god-level growth rate demon spirits to them. Nia Li thought. As for Yi Ziyun, Xiaoninger, and Bunch, Nia Li is preparing to give them other types of demon spirits. For example, Yi Ziyun is more suitable for snow wind attribute demon spirits. Xiaoninger is more suitable for wind and lightning attribute demon spirits. Snow wind and lightning attribute demon spirits are harder to obtain than fighter-type demon spirits. However, Nia Li has enough money now, so he can slowly obtain them. After sitting down, Nia Li started to merge with the fanged panda. After slowly guiding the demon spirit into his soul realm, Nia Li started to merge with it. Chapter 75. After the fanged panda entered Nia Li's soul realm, it occupied an area and maintained a certain distance from the Shadow Devil demon spirit. The Shadow Devil demon spirit seemed to be afraid of the fanged panda and didn't dare to move. The fanged panda also seemed to have felt the aura of the shadow devil demon spirit and didn't dare to approach it. Both parties were on guard against each other. As the fanged panda demon spirit slowly merged with Nia Li's soul realm, the boundary between the two was no longer so clear. Occasionally, a chubby figure would flash across Nia Li's mind. This guy was charmingly naive, grabbing a bamboo and chewing on it. He clumsily climbed up a big tree and finally fell down with a plop. This is the image of the fanged panda when it was alive. It was transmitted into Nia Li's mind. Nia Li couldn't help smiling. This little guy is still rather cute. Roughly 2 hours later, the merging between Nia Li and the fanged panda was finally completed. After merging with the fanged panda, the two demon spirits interacted with each other, constantly expanding Nia Li's soul realm. Nia Li's soul realm frantically expanded, once again expanding by more than 2 times. His soul force also surged violently. The soul force within Nia Li's soul realm split into 2. These 2 streams of soul force constantly flowed, complementing each other. A majestic energy surged out. Boom! Nia Li could feel that his soul force had suddenly increased by quite a bit. After testing it with a soul crystal, Nia Li realized that his soul force has already grown to 2,000, reaching the 2-star silver rank. After merging with the fanged panda, Nia Li's strength directly increased by a level. All of this was within Nia Li's expectations. What he was most concerned about wasn't the increase in his cultivation, but the innate ability of the fanged panda. Feeling some of the characteristics of the fanged panda, Nia Li's eyes lit up. He leapt up and headed straight for the back mountain. In the forest behind the mountain, it's quiet and uninhabited. Normally, no one would come here. Nia Li is preparing to display the combat skills of the fanged panda here. Roar! Nia Li furiously roared. His body rapidly expanded, quickly merging with the fanged panda demon spirit. His muscles bulged, his body was covered with black and white fur, his limbs became extremely thick, and sharp claws grew out of his fingers. Thunder strike! Nia Li's whole body was full of power that couldn't be vented. He slapped a big tree next to him. Boom! A huge tree that required a person's arms to wrap around its trunk snapped in response. It fell down with a loud bang, kicking up a cloud of dust. Such powerful strength! Nia Li's eyebrows twitched. The strength of this fanged panda had indeed exceeded his imagination. In addition to Nia Li's understanding of battle, not to mention a silver rank, even if it was a gold rank, Nia Li would still dare to fight it. Aside from palm strikes, Nia Li doesn't know what other combat skills it has. Nia Li furiously roared, activating the strength of the fanged panda. With a boom, a powerful aura was formed around the fanged panda, with a radius of approximately 5 meters. Nia Li can control the weight of this 5-meter radius. Gravity field. What a rare combat skill. Nia Li was ecstatic in his heart. He never thought that the fanged panda would be able to display such a special combat skill. Gravity field is a combat skill that is very hard to defend against. Obtaining this fanged panda is really a big win. Nia Li continued to research the fanged panda's combat skills. Because Nia Li doesn't have any understanding of the fanged panda demon spirit, there are many combat skills that need to be developed. However, after merging with the fanged panda, a trace of the fanged panda's memory would occasionally appear in Nia Li's mind. Therefore, the difficulty of developing new combat skills has decreased by a lot. There's still the third combat skill. Nia Li roared like a wild beast. He opened his mouth and spat out 2 balls of light, one black and one white, from Nia Li's mouth. The 2 balls of light drew a curved arc in the air and simultaneously landed on an empty ground. Boom! When the 2 balls of light exploded, a terrifying force swept out. Everything within a 10-meter radius was swept away, leaving behind 2 huge craters on the ground. The hard rocks within the soil were all crushed into pieces. At this moment, even Nia Li was a little dumbfounded. What a powerful force! Yuan Qi explosion. Nia Li seems to have heard of this combat skill before. By spitting out the Yuan Qi within the body and bombarding the enemy's body, it would cause an explosion. However, ordinary Yuan Qi explosion is only one. However, the Yuan Qi explosion that Nia Li casted out two at the same time. Let's call it the Yin-Yang blast for now. Nia Li thought a while. These two balls of light, one black and one white, are indeed a little frightening. Nia Li sensed for a moment. This Yin-Yang blast can't be casted too many times. After casting it 5 times, all the energy in his body will be exhausted. The gravity field combined with the Yin-Yang blast is definitely a very powerful move. Nia Li can feel that this Fang Panda still has a lot of combat skills that have yet to be developed. He believes that in the future, as Nia Li and the Fang Panda's strength continue to rise, they will be able to display even more combat skills. Not bad. Although he has seen a lot of demon spirits after merging with the Fang Panda, Nia Li is still very excited. No matter if it's the Shadow Devil demon spirit or the Fang Panda, both of them have God-level growth rates. Any one of them is enough to make people go crazy. Nia Li recalled the Fanged Panda back into his soul realm. Currently, this Fang Panda is only a bronze rank demon spirit. Nia Li constantly circulated his soul force to feed it, while crazily swallowing elixirs like soul-tempering pills to replenish his energy. At this moment, within Nia Li's soul realm, the Fang Panda was constantly opening its mouth to devour the surging soul force. Normally, cultivators wouldn't be willing to use a large amount of soul force to feed a demon spirit. Although a demon spirit is a part of their strength, it can be changed. Rather than feeding a demon spirit, it's better to increase one's own strength. When one's strength grows stronger, they can switch to a stronger demon spirit. However, Nia Li's thoughts are different. Whether it's the Fang Panda or the Shadow Devil demon spirit, he's prepared to nurture them well. Constantly devouring soul force, the Fang Panda's rank continued to rise. With a boom, it finally broke through to silver rank. After reaching silver rank, the Fang Panda's speed of devouring soul force slowed down and almost stabilized. The increase in a demon spirit's strength is closely related to the demon spiritualist. When a demon spirit's strength is on par with the demon spiritualist's, their growth will slow down. Only a small number of demon spirits can grow stronger than their master. The Fang Panda belongs to a God-level growth rate demon spirit. In the future, it's normal for its strength to surpass Nia Li. However, this still requires Nia Li to nurture it slowly. You can't become fat in one go. To be able to reach silver rank in such a short amount of time is already not easy. After reaching silver rank, Nia Li let out a low roar and once again summoned the Fanged Panda. With the Fanged Panda attached to his body, Nia Li's cultivation suddenly increased, becoming much stronger than before. Although it's still silver rank, ordinary gold, rank demon spiritualist shouldn't be my opponent. Nia Li lightly smiled. The strength of a God-level growth rate demon spirit isn't something ordinary people can imagine. Chapter 76. Just when Nia Li was crazily training and preparing to dig deeper into the Fanged Panda's combat technique, 2 figures flew over from the forest far away. Nia Li slightly frowned. He stood still and looked into the distance. Whoosh! Whoosh! 2 figures landed. It's Nia Xiaofeng and Nia Xiaori. Who dares to be so presumptuous in my Tensei family's territory? Nia Xiaofeng and Nia Xiaori's gaze fell onto the transformed Nia Li. After Nia Li merged with the Fanged Panda demon spirit, his figure grew a lot bigger. His appearance also changed a lot. His exposed skin was covered with black and white fur. It's normal that the 2 of them didn't recognize Nia Li. It's the 2 of them. Nia Li stood still, slightly frowning. Although Nia Xiaofeng and Nia Xiaori have some grudges with him, it's still an internal matter of the family. In his previous life, when the 2 of them fought with demon spirits, They died a heroic death. Therefore, Nia Li didn't plan to do anything to them. Furthermore, Nia Xiaofeng and Nia Sherry's position in the family can no longer be compared to Nia Li. Nia Li didn't put Nia Xiaofeng and Nia Sherry in his eyes. Nia Li's figure quickly shrunk, returning to his original appearance. "It's me," Nia Li lightly said. "It's you." Nia Xiaofeng and Nia Sherry looked at Nia Li in astonishment. The shock in their hearts was hard to describe. That form earlier, was it Nia Li's form after merging with the demon spirit? They glanced at the fallen tree and the terrifying, deep pit in the ground, and their eyes revealed a deep sense of awe. In their original impression, Nia Li was still a kid that hasn't even reached 1-star bronze rank. They never thought that, in such a short period of time, Nia Li would become a silver rank demon spiritualist. When they looked at Nia Li, their eyes couldn't help flashing a trace of reverence. During this period of time, Nia Wei had already lost his position as the first elder, and their status in the clan had also plummeted. There was no need to mention how depressed they were. Although they were very dissatisfied with the current situation, they did not think of taking revenge on Nia Li. Although there were some conflicts between the various branches of the family, from the beginning of the Tensei family, infighting was absolutely not allowed. The punishment for infighting was very severe. They were just a little annoyed and resentful. Moreover, Nia Li's current status in the Tensei family was not something they could shake. In the past, they thought that Patriarch Nia Hai was deceived, and that was why he protected Nia Li. However, as Nia Hai announced to the public that the elixirs that the Tensei family received recently were all given by Nia Li, they were convinced. No matter who it was, anyone who made such a huge contribution to the family deserved respect. Moreover, now that they found out that Nia Li actually had the cultivation of silver rank, they looked up to Nia Li even more. After being disturbed by Nia Xiaofeng and Nia Sherry, Nia Li did not have the mood to continue cultivating. He tidied up his clothes, turned around, and prepared to leave. Seeing that Nia Li was leaving, Nia Xiaofeng and Nia Sherry knew that Nia Li did not have a good impression of them at all. After Nia Li's status in the family changed, it was already good that he did not take the opportunity to deal with them. Looking at Nia Li's back, Nia Sherry hurriedly took a step forward and said anxiously, "Nia Li, please wait." "What's the matter?" Nia Li turned around and looked at Nia Xiaofeng and Nia Sherry. Nia Sherry's face turned red, and after a while he said with a stutter, "Nia Li, I'm sorry. We were in the wrong for all the things that happened in the family before. We apologize to you." Nia Xiaofeng also lowered his head and said, "No matter how you retaliate against us, we will accept it." Although Nia Sherry and Nia Xiaofeng were a bit overbearing in his previous life, they were still good people. When the Tengen family was in danger, they also stood up for them. Therefore, Nia Li had never made things difficult for them. However, when he heard Nia Xiaofeng and Nia Sherry apologize to him, Nia Li was still very surprised. He smiled and waved his hand, saying, "I forgive you." Hearing Nia Li's words, Nia Xiaofeng and Nia Sherry were stunned for a moment. They did not expect Nia Li to forgive them so easily. They could not wrap their heads around it. Nia Li smiled faintly and said, "I'm not such a petty person. I heard that the patriarch did not give you the medicinal pills because he was worried about my opinion of you." Nia Li took out some medicinal pills from his interspatial ring. With a flick of his right hand, he threw the medicinal pills to Nia Xiaofeng and Nia Sherry and said, "These are your 2 portions. Consider it as my gift to you." After saying that, Nia Li turned around and slowly walked away. Nia Xiaofeng and Nia Sherry looked at the medicinal pills in their hands, and then looked at Nia Li's back. Their noses were slightly sour. In the past, we always looked for trouble with Nia Li. I didn't expect Nia Li to be so magnanimous. We really shouldn't have done it in the past, Nia Xiaofeng said with self-blame. Looking at Nia Li's back, his heart was filled with guilt. "Yeah, compared to Nia Li, we really feel ashamed in our hearts." Nya Shari also lowered his head and said, "Big brother, Nya Li is magnanimous. He didn't haggle with us, and even gave us medicinal pills, but we still feel guilty in our hearts." Nya Xiaofeng and Nya Shari were still very young. They were a little arrogant in their hearts, but their nature wasn't bad. This time, they were determined to apologize to Nya Li. They didn't expect that Nya Li would be so lenient towards them. They were filled with guilt towards Nya Li. In the future, if Nya Li asked them to do something, they absolutely wouldn't hesitate. As night approached, Nya Li was cultivating in his courtyard. From time to time, the nightmare demon pot would emit waves of pure soul force fluctuations. Nya Li was constantly absorbing the soul force, turning it into his own. Nya Li could sense that his soul force had increased by leaps and bounds. Just as Nya Li was concentrating on cultivating, someone knocked on the courtyard's door. "Please come in." Nya Li didn't stand up but said in a loud voice. A moment later, the courtyard's door opened, and several people hurriedly walked in. The one leading them was Nya Hai, and behind him were Nya En and the other elders, as well as Nya Li's father, Nya Ming, uncle, Nya Kai, and the others. Nya Li looked at the crowd in surprise and asked in confusion, "What happened? Why did so many people come?" When the patriarch came, Nya Li didn't even stand up to welcome him. Instead, he asked such a big question. Nya Ming and Nya Kai couldn't help feeling a little nervous. They worriedly glanced at Nya Hai and realized that Nya Hai didn't have any trace of anger in him. Only then did they feel relieved in their hearts. They secretly thought that when they return, they must properly educate Nya Li. Although Nya Li's position in the Tensei family is high, he can't be arrogant and must remain humble. If he was still the kid from before, Nya Li would definitely be respectful to Nya Hai. However, the current Nya Li, even if a legend rank demon spiritualist were to stand in front of him, he wouldn't have much respect in his heart. In this life, he wants to become the Saint Emperor of the human race and compete with the Holy Emperor and help Glory City walk out of its predicament. Right now, he's only taking the first step. With Nya Li's knowledge, he can look down on anyone in Glory City. Chapter 77. The few elders looked at each other. Nya Li is a little too daring, completely not putting the patriarch in his eyes. However, Nya Hai and Nya En both felt that it's nothing. Therefore, it's not good for them to jump out and criticize Nya Li. Furthermore, the patriarch just ordered that in the future, Nya Li's position in the Tensei family is the same as his. This order caused the elders to be puzzled. However, since the patriarch has already ordered it, they can only carry it out. I have just received news that the Sacred Family has invited a portion of the families in Glory City to participate in the younger generation's tournament. They even sent an invitation to our Yi family. Should we participate? Nya Hai asked, looking at Nya Li. Every few years, the younger generation's tournament will be hosted by one of the 3 major families. At least a third of the families will be invited to participate. If it's just an ordinary tournament, it's nothing much. However, Nya Hai is worried that the Sacred Family has ill intentions and wants to make a move on the Tensei family. Of course we'll participate, why not? Just send a letter to the Association of Alchemists and let them come and watch the tournament. Nya Li calmly said, "The Sacred Family has already sent an invitation to the Tensei family. How can they not participate?" Hearing Nya Li's words, the elders looked at Nya Li in astonishment. How can the Association of Alchemists be called so easily? Different from the other elders, Nya Hai and Nya En felt that it's natural. Then, I'll have to trouble you to write a letter to Director Yang. Nya Hai said, lightly smiling. He was waiting for Nya Li to say this. If the Association of Alchemists were to send someone over, then the Sacred Family will definitely be afraid. For this tournament, we can send 3 people. Nya Li, are you going to participate? Nya En looked at Nya Li and asked. He knows that Nya Li's strength has already reached silver rank and has integrated with a demon spirit. Of course I want to go on stage. Nya Li calmly nodded his head. He had just fused with the Fang Panda, so he wanted to test the power of the Fang Panda through actual combat. In addition to his previous agreement with Shen Fei, how could Nia Li not play? When Nia Hai and Nia En spoke to Nia Li, they both used an inquiring tone, which made the elders quite uncomfortable. But when they thought about how Nia Li had contributed so many elixirs to the family, they understood. He also understood one thing, and that was that Nia Li's status in the family was completely different from before. Other than Nia Li, the other two were Nia Xiaofeng and a disciple called Nia Yu, both of whom were 2-star silver rank. A 2-star silver rank demon spiritualist in their 20s is already considered pretty good, although their demon spirit strength isn't anything special. After all, they're the geniuses of his family. Therefore, Nia Li wasn't stingy. He got Nia Hai to give them 2 extraordinary level, growth rate, silver rank demon spirits. This competition will be held in half a month. Nia Li, you better prepare well. We've received news that the Sacred Family's participants are all at least 5-star silver rank. Thinking about it, Nia Hai's heart sank and said, they still have to guard against the Sacred Family's dirty tricks during the competition. Oh, Nia Li lightly replied, looking very relaxed. Dirty tricks from the Sacred Family? Nia Li isn't worried at all. What kind of tricks can escape his eyes? Afterwards, Nia Hai, Nia En, Nia Ming, and Bunch discussed with Nia Li about the development of the Tensei family, including spending some money to hire a large number of experts to strengthen the family. For Nia Li, the strengthening of the Tensei family is only beneficial. There's no problem. I can contribute 100 million demon spirit coins to the family to do this. However, you have to be careful when recruiting people. Don't recruit any spies from the Sacred Family or the Dark Guild. Nia Li said after thinking a while. Contribute 100 million demon spirit coins? Nia Ming, Nia Kai, and the group of elders almost had their eyeballs popping out. That's 100 million demon spirit coins. How could Nia Li say it so easily? How many things can be done with 100 million demon spirit coins? Even hiring 100 gold rank experts wouldn't be a problem. Nia Hai and Nia En were much calmer this time. They clearly know that Nia Li's wealth is simply too shocking. 100 million demon spirit coins is just a drop in the ocean. With 100 million demon spirit coins, the influence of the Tensei family can be expanded by several folds. The group of elders finally understood why Nia Hai would put Nia Li in the same position as him. The trace of dissatisfaction they had towards Nia Li also disappeared. The Tensei family is their root. As long as it's something beneficial to the family, they will support it. Those who contribute to the family should receive everyone's respect. Even if the position of the family member is lower, if they can contribute 100 million demon spirit coins to the family, they will worship them. After a few hours of discussion, Nia Hai and Bunch began to implement their plan. They sent people to the Demon Spiritualist and Fighter Guild to recruit experts. Different from the Association of Alchemists, the Demon Spiritualist and Fighter Guild aren't big forces. They are only responsible for registering all the commoner demon spiritualists and fighters. Generally, commoner demon spiritualists and fighters will choose to be recruited by the various families. This way, they can obtain more cultivation resources and a stable income to support their family. As for the various families, by recruiting commoner demon spiritualists and fighters, they can greatly increase their strength. Every family will maintain a certain amount of protection force. As for the Yi family, due to the lack of funds in the past, they even dismissed the family's protection force. Now, they can finally recruit again. Aside from contributing 100 million demon spirit coins, Nia Li also contributed some powerful cultivation techniques to the family. Everyone in the family can practice them and use them to increase the family's strength. At this moment, Sacred Family's deacon elder, Shen Ming, was handling the family's affairs. At this moment, 3 young men walked in. The one leading them is Xin Fei. Behind Xin Fei are 2 people in their 20s with a stern face. Deacon Elder, Xin Fei slightly cupped his hands. "We pay our respects to Deacon Elder." The two youths behind Xin Fei bowed to Xin Ming. The two of them are disciples of the subsidiary branch of the sacred family. Their status is far from Xin Fei's. Although their cultivation is higher than Xin Fei, they're much more humble than Xin Fei. Xin Ming slightly nodded his head, sighing in his heart. Xin Fei's talent is pretty good. He's already a 3-star silver rank demon spiritualist. However, compared to Xin Ning and Xin Xiao from the other two branches, the difference is too big. The younger Xin Ning, at the age of 20, has already reached 5-star silver rank demon spiritualist. The older Xin Xiao, at the age of 20, is already a gold rank demon spiritualist. The main family's young master's talent is actually not as good as the subsidiary's youth. This has never happened before in the previous generations. Young Master Xin Fei, are you sure you want to participate in the tournament? Xin Ming respectfully asked. You're sure that the Tensei family's Nia Li will participate in the tournament? Xin Fei looked at Xin Ming. His eyebrows slightly twitched as he asked. Because of the matter with Xiao Ninger, his heart was filled with hatred towards Nieli. When he heard that the Tensei family will also participate in the tournament, although his strength isn't enough, he still took the initiative to request to participate. We have already received a reply from the Tensei family. It has been confirmed that the Tensei family will participate in the tournament. That Nia Li should also be participating. Xin Ming said, slightly nodding his head. Since that's the case, I must participate in the tournament. I must step on that brat under my feet and ruthlessly humiliate him. Shen Fei said with a cold gaze. Thinking of Xiao Ninger, Shen Fei's heart was filled with hatred towards Nieli. Chapter 78. Xin Ming lightly nodded his head. This Nia Li exposed the sacred family's scarlet sunburst inscription pattern as plagiarism, causing the sacred family's reputation to suffer a great loss. He must be taught a lesson. This tournament is led by the sacred family. The Kongming family and Snowwind family won't be coming. With Shen Ning and Xin Xiao here, it's practically in the bag. Adding Xin Fei wouldn't be a problem. This tournament concerns the face of our sacred family. Because of this, we will open a betting house. All the patriarchs of the various families will place their bets. Xin Ming solemnly said, This matter is of great importance. There can't be any mistakes. Otherwise, the patriarch will immediately come out of his seclusion. The two of you know the consequences. Shen Ming's gaze swept past Xin Ning and Xin Xiao. No matter how Shen Fei plays, it's fine. However, if something were to happen to Xin Ning and Shen Xiao, they will definitely be severely punished. Xin Ning and Xin Xiao's hearts were filled with sorrow. They hurriedly bowed and replied, Yes, Elder Deacon, we will definitely do our best. Shen Fei's arrogant gaze swept past Xin Ning and Xin Xiao. Although Shen Ning and Xin Xiao are unhappy with Shen Fei, as a branch family of the sacred family, they dare not say anything. Their cultivation is obviously much higher than Xin Fei's, but they received such unfair treatment. How can they feel at ease in their hearts? Recently, with the protection of the Association of Alchemists, the Tensei family simply doesn't put us in their eyes. When the patriarch comes out of his seclusion, sooner or later, we'll make them pay. Xin Ming thought. The patriarch of the sacred family, Shen Hong, has already reached the pinnacle of black gold rank demon spiritualist. He doesn't know if he can successfully step into legend rank. Once Shen Hong successfully steps into legend rank, the sacred family's position in Glory City will be completely different. They can even influence some of Glory City's decisions. Even the city lord has to consider the sacred family's opinion. At that time, what waves can the Tensei family create? I heard that the Tensei family has recently been recruiting commoner experts, spending tens of millions of demon spirit coins. I wonder where the money came from. It seems that it has something to do with the Association of Alchemists. Is the Association of Alchemists determined to cultivate the Tensei family? Shan Ming secretly thought in his heart. The Association of Alchemists has repeatedly gone against the sacred family, sheltering the Tensei family and even secretly investigating the sacred family. Could it be that the Association of Alchemists has discovered something? The shady dealings between the sacred family and the Dark Guild must never be exposed. Shan Ming was very careful in doing things. He didn't let the Association of Alchemists catch him. These things had to be reported to the head of the family after he came out of his closed-door training. No matter if the Tensei family has the protection of the Association of Alchemists or not, this time they have to give the Tensei family a good beating. Otherwise, where would the prestige of the sacred family be? Tensei family's territory. Nia Li has been in closed-door training, continuing to integrate with the demon spirits that he purchased. For Yiziun, he integrated a snow, wind demon spirit with a god level growth rate. For Xiaoning, he integrated a wind and thunder demon spirit with a god level growth rate. In addition, there are 3 other god level growth rate demon spirits. They're respectively divine movement, sacred fire, and sacred healing type demon spirits. These are prepared for Wei Nan, Zhu Xiangjuan, and Zhongming. Although purchasing demon spirits, nightmare demon pot, and contributing to the family cost a lot of money, Nia Li's money is still increasing. It has already reached an astonishing 2 billion demon spirit coins. As time passes, this amount of money will continue to increase. Nia Li has a kind of worry of not being able to spend his money. Tensei family's treasury. Recently, Nia Li has been integrating with demon spirits and increasing his cultivation. Therefore, he didn't have the opportunity to enter the Tensei family's treasury. Until now, under Nia Hai's lead, he finally entered the secret passage behind the Patriarch's mansion. After passing through layers of defense, he arrived at the Tensei family's treasury. Tensei family's treasury. Nia Hai was a little embarrassed. He pointed to the stone room in front and said, "This is the Tensei family's treasury." Hearing Nia Hai's words, Nia Li's gaze swept through the stone room. The walls of the stone room were filled with thousands of hooks. However, there are only 1 to 200 items hanging on them. Nia Li looked at Nia Hai with a weird gaze and mercilessly said, "Patriarch, are you sure that this is the Tensei family's treasury?" "Of course." Nia Hai's face was slightly hot as he nodded his head. "The Tensei family's treasury only has so few items?" Nia Li looked at Nia Hai and said, "Patriarch, the items in this treasury couldn't have been emptied by you, right?" "Of course not." Nia Hai's face suddenly turned red as he said, "Everything in this treasury is recorded. If you want to take anything out, you have to get the approval of all the elders in the family. These years, our Tensei family has been strapped for cash. In order to ensure the family's development, we had to pick out some treasures and sell them for money. This is why the Tensei family has been able to survive until now." "I'm just saying casually. Why are you so excited, Patriarch?" Nia Li shrugged and walked straight forward. Looking at Nia Li's back, Nia Hai was stunned. How did this little guy's brain grow? He was no different from an adult. He actually played me in circles. Nia Hai couldn't help but feel a deep sense of powerlessness in his heart. The treasures we sold are all things that can be bought on the market. There are some things in the family treasury that we have no idea what they are used for, so we don't dare to sell them recklessly. Nia Hai said they still had some foresight. "I guess these treasures that we don't know what they're used for can't be sold at a high price." Nia Li glanced at Nia Hai lightly. I say, Little, can you leave me some face? It's fine if it's only the 2 of us now, but when there are outsiders... After all, I'm the patriarch of the family." Nia Hai was depressed. As the patriarch of the family, he was speechless because of Nia Li, but he couldn't get angry at Nia Li, because the rise of the Tensei family now depended on Nia Li. "That's for sure. When there's an outsider here, I'll give you some face." Nia Li nodded. Hearing Nya Li's words, Nya Hai paused for a moment, then bitterly smiled. The meaning behind Nya Li's words is that when there's no one else here, Nya Li doesn't need to give him any face. Nya Li looked at the various treasures hanging on the wall and was slightly shocked. Although the Tensei family had declined, it was still a big family that had been passed down since the era of the Snowwind Empire. There were still some treasures. Most of the treasures that Nya Hai could name and knew what they were used for had been sold. But in fact, the remaining treasures were the real good things. These hundreds of treasures, I don't even know what they are used for or how powerful they are. Nya Hai looked at these dazzling treasures and said with a bitter smile. It was normal that Nya Hai hadn't seen these treasures before. Most of these treasures were from before the Holy Emperor Empire. Nya Li could name 90% of them and knew their uses. As for the remaining 10%, even Nya Li didn't know what they were used for. Chapter 79. Nya Li's gaze fell onto one of the treasures. This treasure is a pair of knuckle thorns. It seems to be a little worn out. The light is dim and covered with dust. The tip of the knuckle thorns is covered with rust. Knuckle thorns? I never thought that I would actually find a soul weapon here. How lucky! Thanks to the ancestors of the Tensei family. Nya Li couldn't help thinking to himself as he took the pair of knuckle thorns from the hook. Nya Hai looked at the tattered knuckle thorns in Nya Li's hand in astonishment. He was stunned for a moment and asked, "You want this thing?" "Yeah." Nya Li nodded his head. He has long wanted to get rid of this pair of knuckle thorns. However, due to its appearance being too tattered, he couldn't tell what kind of power it has. Basically, no one wanted to take it, so he decided to keep it. The family's treasury is already empty. At least it can be used to fill up the family's treasury. From Nya Hai's point of view, there are still 1 or 2 valuable treasures in the family's treasury. Why did Nya Li choose this knuckle thorns? Nya Li placed the knuckle thorns into his interspatial ring and continued to look through the family's treasury. Although there are a few items that are not bad, Nya Li didn't have any desire to take them. This is because they won't be of any help to his strength. Being able to obtain this pair of knuckle thorns is already a worthwhile trip. His gaze finally fell onto the last 2 items. One of them is a piece of paper. On it, there are various inscription patterns and the composition of some kind of equipment. Seeing Nya Li staring at this piece of paper, Nya Hai explained, "I don't know what this piece of paper is. No one in our Tensei family has been able to create it. This composition seems to be a bird." After Nya Li stared at the paper for a while, he recalled that this is the masterpiece of the dark magic refiners. It's called Soul Puppet. This is a bird-type soul puppet. Since the early days of the Holy Emperor Empire, there were some dark demon spiritualists active in the continent. They are a group of strange and mysterious existences. They would often do extremely evil things, such as the soul puppet. After they create the soul puppet, they forcefully seal the soul of the person who just died into the soul puppet, then use inscription patterns to control the soul puppet, making the soul puppet obey them. Later on, after the establishment of the Holy Emperor Empire, the dark demon spiritualists were expelled on a large scale. Therefore, the majority of the soul puppet blueprints were destroyed. Although this thing had flourished for a period of time, ever since the kingdom of the Holy Emperor, these things had become extremely rare. In addition, after the Dark Age, where the demonic beasts had wreaked havoc, the blueprints of soul puppets were even rarer. It was almost forgotten in the long river of history. He didn't expect to find another soul puppet's blueprint here. If this was in the era of the Holy Emperor Empire, if he was found, he would be confiscated. "I want this too." Nya Li placed the blueprint into his interspatial ring. Although he wasn't prepared to forcefully seal the soul of another person into a soul puppet, after all, this kind of thing is too evil. However, this didn't stop Nya Li from researching the soul puppet technique. Nya Li took the blueprint. Nya Hai didn't have any objections. After all, Nya Li gave the Tensei family so many elixirs and demon spirit coins. They already took a big advantage of him. He couldn't wait for Nya Li to take a few more. I'll put this blueprint aside and study it later, Nya Li thought to himself as he continued to look at the next item. It's a round pearl. This pearl is pitch black, sparkling, and translucent, flickering with a dark luster. Just a glance at it would cause people to have a feeling of being sucked into it. This bead is definitely not simple, but even Nya Li doesn't know its origin. I'll take this too, Nya Li said. Anything else is fine, but this bead. Nya Hai was a little hesitant. What? Is there a problem? Nya Li slightly frowned, looked at Nya Hai and asked. It's not because of how valuable this bead is, but because this bead was left behind by the first-generation patriarch. It has a very important commemorative meaning for the future generations. Therefore, it must be properly preserved. Nya Hai said, I'm also a descendant of the Tensei family, so there shouldn't be a problem for me to take it. I will take good care of this bead. Here's 200 million demon spirit coins. Patriarch Nya Hai, take it and add some things to the family's treasury, lest the family's treasury is too shabby. Nya Li's right hand moved, took out an interspatial ring, passed it to Nya Hai and said, This move of Nya Li's was something that Nya Hai couldn't resist at all. Nya Hai weighed the pros and cons for a moment. He looked at the interspatial ring in Nya Li's hand, then looked at the pearl that he didn't know what use it had. He nodded and bitterly smiled. All right. Nya Li's silver bullet attack is too terrifying. All right. Nya Li lightly smiled. This time he returned with a full load. He doesn't know what that black bead is, but it shouldn't be an ordinary item. There's also the Soul Puppet Technique's blueprint. It's also not bad. Furthermore, just that soul weapon alone isn't something that money can buy. Soul weapons are especially useful when used with demon spirits. The Shadow Devil demon spirit itself has sharp claws. Therefore, it doesn't need the Fist Thorn. However, the Fang Panda is suitable to equip the Fist Thorn. Patriarch Nya Hai, I'll head back first, Nya Li said, looking at Nya Hai. All right. Nya Hai sent Nya Li out. Right now, Nya Li is a tycoon in the family. Just by taking out a little bit of money, he can increase the family's strength. Because of Nya Li, the whole Tensei family is different. Wouldn't he treat Nya Li like a lord? If any family has a junior like Nya Li, the patriarch would probably wake up smiling even in his dreams. Returning to his courtyard, Nya Li took out the pair of spear soul weapons. This pair of spears looks like a pile of scrap metal. Nya Li let out a low roar and activated his soul realm. Strands of soul force surged out from his soul realm and rushed towards the pair of spears. Nya Li continuously used his soul force to refine the pair of spear soul weapons. The rust on the surface of the spear soul weapons slowly faded, gradually blossoming with a dazzling luster. In the end, it formed a slight resonance with Nya Li's soul. The pair of spear soul weapons continuously vibrated, slowly flew into the air, and with a bang exploded. The pair of thorn-like soul weapons transformed into a streak of light, and with a whoosh, entered Nya Li's soul realm. The power of a soul weapon is closely related to a person's soul force. Generally, it will be one rank higher than the soul force. In other words, Nya Li's soul force is silver rank, and this soul weapon has the strength of gold rank. Even a gold rank expert would be injured by this soul weapon if they are not careful. When Nya Li's strength advances, the soul weapon will also advance. Soul weapons are the masterpiece of the lightning demon spiritualists in the late Snow Wind era. Only they can forge soul weapons, but only a small number of lightning demon spiritualists are able to grasp the method of forging soul weapons. Only a few lightning demon spiritualist families are able to grasp the method of forging soul weapons. Everyone can only have one soul weapon in their lifetime. When the person dies, the soul weapon will be destroyed. Therefore, there are very few soul weapons that can be passed down from that era. This bunch of ignorant people actually treated soul weapons as ordinary weapons. What a waste! Luckily, it was discovered by me. Otherwise, who knows how long it would be covered in dust. Nye Li smiled as he thought to himself,